H-Town, what's up? You know what time it is. It's time for the best 120 minutes of your day. The Chop Shop, the nation's #1 urban sports talk show, and also your midday sports happy hour. Yours truly, Robert Hatter, alongside Jim Hicks, coming to you live, and sometimes Chris Walker, coming to you live from Houston, Texas. But we broadcasting all over this world via Facebook Live and YouTube Live, and it is Wednesday. Day, my favorite day of the week is Women Rock Wednesday. Today, we got a special guest today, a young man that deal with our young women and turning and helping transform them and young girls into young ladies and getting them prepared for college. Omar Sneed will be on the show shortly. So text your people. Just send a referral to your wife. Okay. All right. Okay, but y'all gotta understand this Boom Boom Room. Shout out to the Boom Boom Room. This is for the Boom Boom Room today. This everybody who's in the feed. Respectfully calling the Boom Boom Room is Women Rock Wednesday. So let me look at the feed. Let me recognize our hold on. Let me make sure I got to get this stuff right. I got to get our women today. We always recognize the starting five, the first five people who sign up to the Facebook feed and YouTube feed. But today on Wednesday, we recognize the women. I skip over the dudes. And this is what we're going to do today. I got Madonna Johnson is in the house. Okay, let me go down. She's looking thin. Oh, got my girl Sonya. She's in the house. Okay, she's looking thin, y'all. I'm going down. Madonna. I got Madonna. Who I got? Madonna. I got Sonya. Oh, I got Anissa. Oh, there go Miss Mindy. Wait a minute. I got to go. Going down again. Now, let me go back. Hold on. Let me look on my other list. Because some women might want, let me look on my other list. Okay, we got Madonna, right? We got Sonya. We got Sonya Billington. She's in the building. Marissa, she watching, but she ain't saying nothing. That's why I don't see her on here. She's slick watching today. I got her. Okay. So that's Mandy, Anissa. Let me see. I'm just trying to make sure. We got 5, y'all. We got 5. It's going to be a unique topic. Derek Lane is in the building. My nephew is in the building. There go Dale Griggs. Oh, Dale Griggs. Okay, that's my start. Okay, I'm good. Dale, y'all got to understand. And I know I'm asking a lot of y'all. But y'all know Mindy, Dale, Anissa, Sonya, Madonna. When I don't see y'all names up there, y'all know what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna go chill. Let me play something right quick because I gotta play something right quick. Hold on, because I haven't played it. Let me do something. Let me do a little housekeeping. Let me see where I go with it. Let's go here. Do a little housekeeping. Hold on. Just give me a second. Oh, I haven't played it that long. Oh my God, I haven't played it. That. Oh, here it is. Wait a minute. Okay, here we go.
The Cox Pradia Law Firm. Big city, big town, big settlement. Your fight is our fight. Need legal advice? You know who to call. Personal injury, wrongful death, car accidents, premise liability, serious injuries. 1-800-HURT-NOW.
I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. Yeah, I had to go. I had to go sneeze and everything, y'all. I had to get it out of the way. But shout out to the women today. Shout out, it's a special shout out to y'all every day, but especially you ladies, Dale Griggs, Mindy Collins, Anissa Ville. I'm going all the way down. Sonia Billingsley, Madonna Johnson. Shout out to you, powerful women, uh, powerful black women. I thank y'all, because y'all always here. Uh, other people, they'll come on here every now and then, right? You know, when they son playing or when but then they disappear. And but I just thank y'all so much. I appreciate y'all so much. Yeah, I'm gonna talk stuff to y'all because I guess what all I'm doing is getting y'all ready because when y'all get to when y'all I know for a fact when y'all getting them little old conversations at home, man. I know y'all be coming up. I know they be saying, "What minute? How you know that? And I know y'all be winning because some of the women tell me. But shout out to y'all. Thank y'all for what y'all do, really, in this community. Thank you for what you do to your sons and your daughters, and some of y'all just juggling. So I don't see how y'all do it. Told y'all I had one, and I was in trouble. I got to turn this fan back on. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. 'Cause it's a fan blowing over my head, and I got to turn it back on. Yes. I got to. I got to be comfortable because I'm about to sit here for 2 hours. But I just want to make sure everything is out. But sometimes y'all don't. Some people just don't say it. But I just want to let y'all know how I appreciate you. Uh, and every single day. But got some stuff we're gonna talk about a little bit before our special guest come on. It's just so much stuff, y'all. I was almost late today because I wanted to. I was listening to some and I was learning. And I did not want to stop. I was on phone calls. I've been on phone calls and working all morning. And we got a couple of things that I'm trying to see what I want to share with y'all. But it's just so much. And the next week, it's just so much stuff I want to share with y'all. But it's some things that happen. Where it is? Y'all don't understand. Let me tell you something. For some reason, my notes just get twisted. But I want to talk to y'all. Like I said, we got a special guest coming on, but I got a little more Bill. Hey, Karen, I got a little bit more Bill Russell stuff I want to give you before our guest come on, y'all. But I'll on how he felt about the civil rights movement after Martin Luther King was assassinated, y'all. Bill Russell, he said in one of his interviews, he said his thought was not to let the dream die. His thought was not to let the dream die. And the reason I'm giving y'all this information and shout out, man, I met a young man yesterday that he just stole me. He just stole my heart. Um, and I'm trying to find. I know I put it in here. Yeah, I know I put it in here. Young man, where did I put it? Young man, I saw him yesterday, and he said he watches the Chop Shop. I ain't gonna tell you where he was because he might not want everybody to know where he was. And it just blew me away. A young man named Reed Daniel, class of 2024, Elkins High School. Got a 3.5 grade point average. He's 6'2", 150 pounds coaches. Great young man. He said he played with Invictus, a team called Invictus this year for AAU. And then he said, you know, we're going to, but he was, I mean, when I see a young man like that just stop me and say, hey, Mr. Hatt, I watch your show. Let me tell y'all something. Our next generation is watching this show. Our next generation is watching these comments. And I ain't saying we got to be perfect, but if we gonna make a comment and if it's crazy, then if we challenge it, let's just talk about it. You remember I said a long time ago, this is it's Chop Shop. We sit down in the world's messiest intersection, the intersection that crossed with sports, entertainment, politics, summer basketball. I mean, and we sit down and just talk about it and argue about it and debate about it. It's okay to have a disagreement. If y'all don't know me, because guess what? That's going to bring some more out of you. A shout out to Corey Henderson. Got to hang out with him. Came in, got to hang out with him a little bit last night. But this young man, Reed Daniel, y'all remember that name. I just saw some of his highlights. I don't know how he's good, but I know if you go to Elkins, he's well coached. And I can't wait to watch these young guys. But our young generation, ladies and gentlemen, I didn't know. He said, Mr. Hatt, how you doing, Mr. Hatt? Man, I mean, it just made my day. I got on the phone, I texted Jim, I said, man, can you believe this? And that's what this is all about. But back to Bill Russell. And the young man said he's learning so much and he's sharing it with his friends. But back to Bill Russell, y'all. On how he said when Martin Luther King got assassinated, if somebody in our community leaves, if somebody go do something, what we gonna do to keep the dream? We don't want the dreams to die with him, Chuck McGowan. Maybe a group of us need to pick it up where he left off. Jimmy was talking about he trying to transition into doing something else. But he trying to find the right people who going to pick it up. Somebody got to pick up the banner and continue to work. This is what Bill Russell was saying about Martin Luther King. He says somebody, it might, because ain't no one man going to match up to him. It might take a group of us to pick up the banner. And what he explained to me was that is usually difficult for the second generation behind that. The first generation will see the changes and the things necessary and try to make those changes, right? But the generation that usually enjoys the changes, so they're not as dedicated to the cause. They just enjoying. We enjoying being able to stay in neighborhoods like ours. We didn't have to fight to stay in neighborhoods like ours. You follow me? Bill Russell said, this is what I love about this man. He said his generation, which was a fading generation, can't rest on the laurels until they energize the next generation. Y'all, we can't rest. We got to energize the Reed Daniels of the world. We got to energize us older guys, the Doug Johnsons and the Gary Carters and the Jeffries. We got to energize these guys instead of trying to hinder them. Our work is not done, y'all. Chop Shop. We ain't done nothing. We ain't done nothing till millions of people all over the country are doing what Thaddeus Moody's saying. Robert, I have 18 of my campers watching the show today. That's the first time let me put that on the screen. That's the first time I ever seen that. First time I ever seen that. Thank you, Thaddeus Moody. That's 18 people who are going to know about the Boom Boom Room, who are going to know about the Chop Shop, going to know about Houston, Texas, going to know about Brandon Nicholson, going to know about Michael Henderson, going to know about everything I talk about today. That's why we tell you to share the show. And then we have people Not y'all, but will come on this show and won't share it. I know some people who watch this show every day, and we never know they on the feed. And he know everything that did happen on the damn show. He know everything that happened. Yeah. He know everything that happened on the show, and I never see his name on the feed. Name never show up on the feed. What's up, Jimmy? But we got to, but also Bill Russell said, hold up, Jimmy, let me get you in there. You look fuzzy today, boss. You look fuzzy. You kind of knew it too. I saw how you were looking. I saw how you were looking like something was going on over there. Go out and come back in. Let me see. Let me work you in there. Yeah, you're looking a little fuzzy over there, Doc. But think about what Thaddeus Moody doing around there. He helping changing people's lives. Bill Russell said it may not be done for a long time. But what he said to me when he said that, he said the next generation enjoys the changes. See, it's going to be some people coming behind me and Jimmy doing this. They going to enjoy the things that we've done to put it in this position. I saw a little glitch in it, Jimmy. I saw it might just get better, Jimmy, in a minute. Yeah, it's better, a lot better. And maybe this next generation, and I'm watching, they don't have quite the zeal for the fight that Bill Russell and them did. You know, we can go wherever we want to. Now, them guys had to, them dudes went on the road trip. The Boston Celtics went on a road trip and have to stay in separate places. The white players stay over here and the black players stay over here. Y'all, this recent history. This recent history. You follow me? And Bill Russell said, right our back. Next year, we ain't doing this, player. I'm going to let you get away with this year. Then Casey Jones come downstairs trying to get something to eat. They went and feed him in the hotel that he was staying in. So all the black players just left. He said, you white players, and guess what they said? White players, y'all can play. They treat y'all right. Black players, we getting on the road. We going home. A lot of people don't know that. I didn't know that. But maybe now, Jameson Morrow, we don't have the zeal to fight the way these people fight. Because Jameson Morrow, you can get on a plane and go see your sister, your daughter anytime you want to. Your daughter can stay, and my son can stay in places that they used to not be welcomed. So we done got a little sit back and be fat on the hog right now. That's why in the NBA, when I hear them young players, and now who think that their game is better because they felt like it's improved, y'all got to hear me on this one. And in a lot of ways they're much better. Financially, they way much better. But their ability to improve on their second career is much better. These players can go just right into other careers now. These other guys, they didn't have this. Bill Russell didn't have this. But the game of basketball, ladies and gentlemen, listen to me. It doesn't change much. That's why I tell you to share this show. It's an orange ball that goes in a rim. The game of basketball, right? It don't change much. To my players who coming up now, how are you going to improve everything around you? This chop shop, I know for a fact, has improved people's lives around them. How are you going to help other people? Sonya Billings. How are you going to involve yourself? This is what my message is to these NBA players. How are you going to involve yourself in the improvement like Bill Russell did? Not just the people around you, but the people outside your bubble. Yeah, LeBron, you take care of your guy. What? Nothing against LeBron, but What about the other people? Yes, you take care of the people in Akron, Ohio. How are you going to make things better for them? This is what Bill Russell was thinking. What kind of foundations do you represent? Who are you mentoring? I'm talking to the NBA players. I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you too, everybody. I'm just listening. I'm talking to Reed Daniel. Reed Daniel, he, the young man who I met, just a little young man, so I watched the show. Who are you mentoring? Who are you making the road that you're traveling more easier for? I know it made it easier for a lot of guys to follow in my footsteps and try to become a sports agent. And some of them think they know so much, damn much, they don't even call me and ask me no advice about it. And wonder why they ain't that good at it. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what Bill Russell was portraying to us. This is what Martin Luther King was doing. Oh, Reed has a twin named Ryan. Their mom takes some great photos at the event. Shout out to the mom. Is Ryan a girl or a young man? Because I know some girls named Ryan. Trey Phillips. But shout out to Reed Daniels, man. Young man, just in case you just came on, young man I just met yesterday. He was just doing this little job out there, getting him, out there getting this little hustle on, man. At a great situation, and but it's just unique, man. When I meet a young man, I don't meet that many young kids like this. Said Mr. Hatter, hey, I watched the Chop Shop. I don't get that many. You're looking good, Jimmy. It's going you good. But I don't get that many. Shout out to Reed Daniels. Jimmy knew who he was. He said, I played in the Southwest Exposure Camp. I said, yeah, Reed, but I ain't go to that. He sent me a couple of videos. Got a nice little game. And shout out to him. Need more young men like that, respectful young man. And ladies and gentlemen, let me find. And I got to share this with you because I had a conversation with a guy, this morning, and he was just complaining about how people will look at some guys and how they succeeding, and these guys ain't even got no grade point average. They this and they problem kids. Y'all, all of these out kids, whether they problem kids or not, we got to, just cause your kid nice and that kid bad, no. Our at-risk kids, the message that we give all of our kids is important, man. That kid that's the bad one you talking about, he need help too. Somewhere down the word, somewhere down the way, the kid that these kids, y'all gotta understand, if we don't give them the proper message, that's why I'm so concerned with the messaging and how the message we give across on this show. Because we got Reed Daniel watching. And Reed, yes, we're gonna get to arguing. This life, we're gonna go and get into it. It's gonna be some conflict. But guess what? We're gonna brush that stuff off and get back to business. Reed, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, James Baldwin, A. Philip Randolph. Look those guys up. All of them guys argue with each other. I got a guy I want you to remember, Reed Daniels, and all your kids, the 18 campers that's watching at Thad Moody School. Do me a favor. Go look up Adam Clayton Powell. If I had looked up and studied Adam Clayton Powell when I was your age, oh my goodness. So that's what we got, y'all. That's where we at, Jimmy. I know we got a guest coming on shortly, but I was just trying to make sure Bill Russell. I was just talking about Bill Russell and just talking when I never forget when Martin Luther King died, Jimmy. The first thing, one thing he said, All I thought it was, what can I do to help keep the dream? What can I do? This guy done passed away. This guy gone. Jimmy done left the business. What can I do to help the next generation, to help usher in the next generation? I see you, I see you, big fella. But I know you're not in the same place that you were earlier. I need you to switch around in the back. I want your light. I want your window facing your face. So go around the table. Yeah, there you go. Go around the table. Jimmy, we did a sound check. He was in one place. Now he done moved on. But Jimmy, I'm gonna let you introduce. He getting it right. I'm gonna let you introduce the guest. Yes, sir. Now we're looking a lot better. I could see that. But Jimmy, you can be my guest.
Yeah, what we got going on out there? We got to get everybody share the show. It's Women Rock Wednesday, and then we promise you guys we are going to. It's August. Some of the sneaker circuit of grassroots basketball is completed, so it's time to provide you. We do every year with guests on the show. College coach will be on at least once every week. We have Wednesdays for we kind of reserve that space for female oriented or related topics or guests. And we have a young man who's coaching on the men's side and of year round, scholastic and non-scholastic, and then decided to hop over to the female side and coach those, and has since doing so has left his fingerprints all over the place. No DNA needed for this one. And his name is Omar Sneed. Omar Sneed is a former high school basketball star, All-American from Beaumont, Texas, Beaumont Westbrook High School, which is still in existence, the only public school in Beaumont to still maintain its original name. Public high school, that is, that I know of. And we have him right here. He used to wear a little hat. He used to have a little fro, a little shag and whatnot. Alan, and now he done come it all the way down. He down there in your territory now. You know.
I like it. You know what I call it? I call it short and sassy.
What's going on? Omar Sneed, man. Welcome to the Chop Shop.
What's up, Coach?
And
how y'all doing, man? Thanks for having me on.
Shoot, the pleasure is all ours, man.
And tell them a little bit about yourself, first of all. You know, I shortchanged you in regarding your resume. A lot of people, and here's the thing, and I'm really
I remember him as a basketball player. All of this other stuff you telling me about the coaching, I remember him as a hooper. But keep going.
Well, that's the whole thing. If we don't say it, then you know when it gets said?
What?
At your funeral.
Okay.
So speak it about yourself.
Okay, well, man, first let me say this, because since we giving flowers, man, let me say this. One of the main reasons why I crossed over to the girls, man, I was just a parent going to watch my daughter play. And Earl Allen gave me an opportunity to be an assistant coach on the 17U team. And you know, I've been around the boys game grinding. I've been in several places, and I guess the one issue that I had was that all of these friends and people I've played for, whatever, and nobody would ever give me an opportunity. And I think that's something that's bothered me. But let me say this, because I'm opening up on a positive tip.
Right.
Mr. Hicks is what I call him. Man, every coach that's come to Lamar, you know, he's advocated to them for me you should hire this dude. Y'all should get this.
Mm.
You know, y'all should look at him. You know, he has ties to the community. He's a
Mm-hmm.
Beaumont guy, this, that, and the third.
Mm-hmm.
And I know, man, you know, things, people throw things out there here and there. But, man, I want to, first of all, just say, man, thank you. Because I'm at work and people are calling me like, hey, man, you tune into the chop shop? Like, man, I'm in this classroom with these 50 kids, man. I know what they talking about today. But Hicks is saying, man, this would be the smart move, this, that, and the third. So a lot of people don't talk about that.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to open up with that. And first of all, I say, man, thank you, and I truly appreciate that.
Wow. Wow.
On that.
Appreciate it.
Hold up, Jim. Hold up, Jim. I got something for you.
And so now you were coaching at the high school level. Of course, you play. First of all, like I say, there are young people watching this show right now. Because school hadn't started for everybody.
Right.
And so a lot of these people look at you right now and they can't visualize the Omar Sneed back in high school. If this internet, social media, mixtape era was out back when you were playing, tell us what would happen.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, it'd be a lot of us that'll be put on. It'd be a lot of us that made a whole lot of money too, you know. And hell, I would have got paid for the gap before Strahan would have. You know, let me say that. You know? But you know, hey, it is what it is.
Right.
But what I will say is this, man. The coaches that I had, the neighborhood I grew up in, you know, because back then, man, we didn't have a lot of trainers, man. Your training was old school dudes. It was parks, you know. The backyard starts off with grass, ends up with dirt. Then your dog's tired. You got to wipe the ball off. Jump over the fence. That's my training. Okay. Then once I get to you know, Westbrook and this, that, and the third, man, you know, the guys that I played with, you just took it to another level. You know, my teammates were always great to me. Let me say that. You know, that's why I'm big on being a good teammate to people. You know, and that was Big Sneed, man. You know, and man, I mean, we used to get up and go play Ninth Ave. You know, it was almost unheard of a Beaumont guy going down to Port Arthur and playing by himself. You know, Steve, Jack, you know, Perkins, he got older. BJ, you know, man, we would all lock up in those gyms, man, and just go play, you know, Scooby Dip. I can name a million guys, but we all had good basketball. We all played with old heads. And when you look at, not to fast forward, but a kid like a Junior Lofton, it's the old soul. The kid played, and he played with older people. I mean, you don't see kids in 2022 pump faking. You know what I'm saying? You had to do all this stuff to get your shot off. So the only downside I would say to the basketball career is that I still get kind of judged and viewed as Big Sneed or Big O versus Omar Sneed, the person. So when I look at jobs and job opportunities, trying to pass the knowledge along, because I know I could do it, right? People look at, well, he was like this when he was a player, or his attitude was like this, or his mentality. But when you 6'4.5" and they're throwing you on the block, right? You ain't getting a chance to dribble and shoot because we got to win. So go down here and win for us. And I'm playing against the Kenyon Martins of the world and all this. Man, I gotta have some type of edge.
Yes, sir.
You know, and you know, and you know, because you know, you rep these guys. You was in there. You seen our summer leagues when I was with Rashard.
Yeah.
And let me tell you something. You can't go fresh into the summer league and go play against Herb Baker being soft.
Hello.
You know. So, you know, me as a player, man, I enjoyed those days, you know, a throwback Thursday every once in a while. But for the most part, man, I try to just kind of let that simmer down. When I'm in the gym with guys, I will get out there every once in a while, you know. But it was more of my mentality and my work ethic that kind of got me over the top and earned me the respect that I have today as a player.
Coach, I mean, I just listened to you. So you think people, and you're right, but I'm just asking you,
Mhm.
you think people hold that against you? Hey, Steve, I was a kind of rough, dirty kind of player. You're the rough player.
Right,
Because I was
right,
a little guard.
right.
Is people still hold that against me from when I used to bust their ass? That's 100 years ago. I done
Right,
moved on. I can't make a layup. I can shoot a free throw.
right.
So, but I didn't know people. You mean people still hold those grudges? I know they do, but
Hmm. Hmm.
wow.
I that's what I feel. That's what I really truly believe. I mean, because I had to sit back and look at it, right? So, and
Uh-huh.
man, you gonna know this better than anybody. And
Uh-huh.
I tell people this all the time.
Uh-huh.
You don't spend 14 years and develop a high level European career by being an idiot. You
Absolutely.
you cannot last over there without having character, without being a good guy, locker room guy, team
Yes.
guy. You have
Absolutely.
to know the game. So if I can last 14 years, 14 over
Yeah.
there, I'll
Yeah.
stop playing because the wheels fell off, right? And you know, and let me say, and life was calling because it was time for me to come home and
Yeah.
do what I do for my family, right?
Right.
So you would think that you would give up. I mean, think about it. Can he develop a big man? Check. Can he
Check.
coach? Check. Can he relate to kids and what they're going through?
Check.
Check. Can I've been in every situation that they have been in, good and bad, and I can show you how to survive. Check.
Check.
So my biggest thing is like, okay, when I say, hey man, it's a sense of fear. So when I say fear, not fear like, oh, he gonna come take my job, dude. No, not that. It's man, when he played here, well, I remember he got mad and he did. Yeah, because you gotta remember something. Y'all coached me that way.
And I was a little boy then. I was a young man. I got kids now.
Right.
Dude. But Jimmy said what you said? They give you a life sentence?
Hmm.
People give you a life sentence. Especially especially us.
Right. Right. Right.
But that's unique, man. I never cause a guy was telling me that one time, man, this dude still don't remember you when y'all used to play. He didn't like you back then because you used to. I said, man, that's 100 years ago.
Right. Right. Right.
Omar Sneed, I don't know if you know it. I'm about to be a granddaddy, and this dude still don't speak to me.
You got a grudge behind it. Basketball.
Yes,
Right.
I had, dude. You said something. You said you was 6'4". I was 6'1". I had to be.
Right. Right.
I didn't want to let you play.
Exactly. Right. You
But
know.
I mean, it's crazy, Jimmy. But Jimmy, what you got for big fella, man? God,
Oh man! So we talking right now, Omar Sneed, and you. we learned Omar Sneed, the player.
right.
Now you're back in America. How did you end up? Take us through your coaching career. Where did it start at, and how did it progress from the boys' side over to the girls' side?
Well, man, when I stopped playing, the biggest part when you stop playing, man, is the transition period. And man, actually, TJ Ford and I had this conversation, man. And he was like, "Omar, the biggest part is the transition period." He and I had a conversation, and that dude told me, he said, "Man, Omar always looked up to you," and I was like, "What?" You know, like TJ. But man, I love him because he's a very humble dude. But we had this conversation, and he took my way of thinking somewhere else. He said, "Man, the hardest part is the transition part." Because man, I tried to work in the refinery. That don't work for me. Man, we worked the shutdown, and I was like, "Hey, when we get off," dude was like, "Man, ain't no, it's a shutdown." And I was like, "Oh nah." So I jumped back into school, and the one thing, man, Coach Price, because all of my coaches was very um they had a lot to do with where I'm at today, right?
Okay.
Coach Price said, Lamar, never really got a chance to, hire me, whatever. But what
Okay.
he did was he made sure that I got back into school and finished my degree. Okay.
Uh.
He made sure I got back into school and finished my degree. So I got back in school, finished my degree, walking around Vegas with my son, trying to figure out my next move because we just finished up the tournament in Vegas. He was transferring in from Ozan to AJ, and then I get a phone call, saying, "Hey man, would you like to coach? You ISS teacher and coach." I was like, "Yeah, of course," not knowing that what I was signing up to coach. Then I get here, and this is a true story. I get here, we go to PE, man. It's girls basketball. I'm I'm at a 4A school, Hardin Jefferson in the country, man. We go to our first fall ball game, and they got tie-dye shirts on and jean short. And I'm looking at this, man, what did I just, what am I doing? And I had a friend of mine, a close, very, very dear close friend from Lumberton. We talk about it today. He was like, man, how did you get yourself mixed up in this? And I looked at them girls and I said, that's my challenge right there. And then, so I asked Coach Fogo, now, check this out. Mike Fogo, who went to Deer Park, played against our rivals, right? I've been at Ozan. I was at Ozan as a volunteer when my son was playing when they had Jordan Hunter and all those guys. My SBG program, I've been all in Beaumont, this, that, and the third. And I'm not the only person doing it, but, that was my dedication, even as a player. He was the only one that gave me a chance at the end of the day. And so I took that, man, and we ran with it. We've been to state 3 times. We have a McDonald's All-American, and Ashton Jackson that was on the show. My HJ girls are beautiful. All of them should go to school. My daughter is one of the top players in her class, and that's where I'm at right now in my coaching career. And I just, because at one while I was like, hey, I'm doing the girls. Will I ever get a chance to go back over to the boys?
Right.
But now it seems like this avenue right now on the platform for these girls is good. I still train guys,
right.
But now the platform with these girls are going so well, man. So now I'm kind of just in a 50-50 ball.
Wow.
So now grassroots basketball, you tell us with the high school scene. So you on the girls side, you have an SBG, which is primarily boys programs. How did you dip off into that? Because in UIL, public school coaches aren't permitted to coach their own players for the most part of the non-scholastic season. So you couldn't coach your own girls.
Right.
Who lured you over there? Was it Trey Phillips? Was it Chuck McCown? Was it semi-coach? Who the hell got you from out the sticks and said, come on and get these girls?
Okay, so I had a buddy. I got well, of course, y'all know Rashard Lewis. I know how Rashard. He has a brother named Ricky Johnson.
Yeah.
Rick came down because he knew my daughter, and he came to recruit my daughter with the program owner, which is Earl Allen. Okay, Earl Allen and Rick came down. Now, of course, I had a lot of dealings with Ash and her recruitment, but Ash was pretty much already spoken for with San Antonio Finance. Her dad, Nate, he done a great job with everything that he did with her, of course, as you can see. And so we chose to go Cy-Fair. So once we done that, then I ended up bringing my Southeast Texas girls and making it Cy-Fair Southeast Texas. And I brought back coaches. Like I brought Melina Washington, who played at Beaumont Central, went to Arizona. I had Nakia at one time who played at Ozan and went to University of Texas. My buddy Curtis Basin, that's the head coach at Willow Ridge. I have my little nephew. I have some of my younger players. So we figured it out. We worked it out. And then, like I told you, I wasn't coaching. I was still coaching the boys side because at that time I had the number 1, number 2 6th grade boys team because I had took some of my players and I had merged with Clyde. And that's why I have Elijah. I had Lil Trey. And I had those guys, and at the time we were rolling. We had the number 1 and number 2 6th grade team in the country. But then when I would go watch my daughter play, and then when they asked me to help, I decided to help. And then one thing led to another. I ended up being the assistant coach, and then they got rid of the coach off the 17U team. Then they asked me to take over last year, so I took over with like 3 tournaments left. And that's how I got involved in coaching on the grassroots side, on the girls' side. I never had any intentions on doing it.
Wow. Then you got a chance to spend more time with your daughter.
And that was the thing. And so, people like, man, you walking away from these boys, number one, and this and that. But yeah, but I'm gonna tell you the one cool thing about Clyde, man. He was like, listen, man, that's your daughter. So man, you gotta go spend time with your daughter, and which was a no brainer. Like that was gonna have to happen anyway,
Yeah.
right? 'Cause
Yeah.
I just turned my daughter or any kid is over. I learned from my oldest son in
Uh-huh.
his age thing. Like you really need to research who you putting your allowing to do this and do that, man, and like sending them off on trips by themselves, and you not knowing what's really going on every step of the way in the whole nine, man. So I learned a lot through him. I learned a lot through the kids in my organization and coaches when I was doing this thing young, because like I say, Mr. Hicks
Yeah.
remember me when I first started this thing.
Yeah. I
I
remember
made
Team Sneed, Team
Yeah,
Sneed, Team Sneed,
right.
Team
And I
Sneed.
made a
Yeah.
I made a lot of mistakes young. I made
Yeah.
made a lot of mistakes young.
Right.
So but that's how I got involved though.
Now, one of the questions we have from the viewers, and you guys feel free to post your questions for Omar Sneed as we take just go ride down the road and share his journey with us. So when did Team Sneed become SBG, and what does SBG stand for?
Okay, so back when I originally started, man, it was me and Albert Deal. We were together in the beginning. I was overseas, and he would call a lot of the shots. While I was overseas, this, that, and the third. I come home one time, and he thought it was a good idea to make it Team Sneed, right? I'm big into stories, quotes, and the whole nine. So when I first started, man, I had a group of kids from South Park. We had a group of kids from South Park. I'm sorry, they didn't have a whole lot of stuff, so we kind of had to sponsor things and then whatever. Then I had my buddy, Coach 48, that's at Westbrook, the assistant coach to Butte. You know, they needed an identity. Man, we would come to Houston, and I'm watching this. We would get punished, and we was getting punished around Beaumont. And I'm watching these kids, and I'm saying, I know we could compete. We're a little bit better. But when kids from Houston were walking out of the gym and they had these nice uniforms, backpack, tennis shoes, my guys got the green and white all-star jerseys up from East Bay. So their confidence was down. So I said, okay, we're going to set a mentality right here because everybody's all-star this, everybody's elite that. And at some point in time, man, that stuff get boring. So I got to give them something to believe in. So SBG is Silverback Gorilla. So when basketball is considered the concrete jungle, right? So this would actually have to be one of the strongest people that you would have to see if we are in the jungle. If I see a gorilla, I know I'm running the other way. You know, I had to give them something to believe in,
Right.
and believe it or not, man, it's like it's a mentality, and it's a family. When people see us, they already know, hey, we got to brace up, play these dudes, and that was the deal. You look at a kid like a Tony Brown that's in the NFL. Well, if you look at his arm, he has a gorilla tattoo. And he's not the only one, man. So it was just me giving kids something to believe in, creating a family atmosphere. Because man, getting kids together from Silsby, uh, Beaumont, I say Beaumont, I'm talking about Northside kids, Southside kids, Palo Alto kids, kids from Vida, all to come together as one because of basketball. That's the bigger picture than just going win and lose games. Mr. Hicks told me something the other day. He said, man, people get caught up in this, that, and the third. At the end of the day, it's still just basketball.
Right. Right. Jimmy, what you did? Jimmy, you hit the mute button?
There you go. It is. Yeah,
Oh,
somebody.
okay.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. I mean, it is just basketball. Now 3 years in, you find yourselves on the sideline with uh, the Nike sponsored, what is it, Sci-Fi Elite,
Yes, sir.
and you find yourselves on the sideline at in the national championship game of the entire Nike circuit. You're in the championship game. This game is televised live on the worldwide leader, ESPN. Take us through that moment. How did you get to that moment? And how did you overcome that moment and get and collect those young ladies to get it in and prevail?
Okay. All right. Well, this okay. You got the time because it's gonna be interesting.
Come on, man.
I got you. All right. So let's I'm gonna lead up to it. So we got to back up. Okay.
Yeah.
So I take over last year with three tournaments left,
Yeah.
and we had like 2 back-to-back in Dallas. And the first one it was fun. You know, the second one it got taxing. Coaching is way more tiring than playing. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
and I was just like, Jesus Christ, like, man, I ain't even having no fun with this stuff, you know,
Right.
because I'm an animated dude on the sideline. Because if I
Right.
could still play, I would. But I tell my girl, like, I'm kind of living through y'all. Like, you'll see me on the sideline make a move. I think we should have crossed over. You pull up the 3. I'm yelling, you know, yee. We do that at HJ. We hold
Right.
the E
Right.
the whole 9. By the way, everybody trying to figure out who originated that, and I got to tell everybody that I got there from Wheatley when they stumped us out 3rd round on the girls' side with Layla Blair and the other girls. So let's get that out the way first. So
Okay.
everybody else saying they did that, I didn't see you. I seen them live first. So
Okay.
that's man. We get to Nike Nationals last year, and the team was just, we didn't know how we was gonna go. Coaching changed everything. Well, I look up, we in the Nike National Championship in Augusta last year. This is why I said I need to talk about girls basketball, because we was on Nike Nationals Championship last year in Augusta, Georgia, with the boys, because the boys and the girls were all in the same place last year. It wasn't like this. We were
Oh.
all in the same place. So I get a chance to see some of my boys. I get the chance to see Mo that's at Ole Miss. I get a chance to see Arsenal. I get a chance to see Yates. Man, I get a chance to see all these boys, and they get a chance to watch me. But when I looked up at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, the main court last game, boy or girl, everybody watching us.
And this was the year before.
This was the year before.
Okay.
So I started saying to myself, So I take my girls outside because I could tell, man, I could tell they were nervous.
Oh,
You
okay.
know, hell, I was nervous. I get mic'd up,
Right.
and ESPN, and you like, okay, I ain't been on there since Dick Vitale, so this some new stuff. So man, we lose the game to, I think, Cal Sparks or whatever.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I got TV timeouts, man, and all this stuff. It's all good, man. This all some new stuff, man. So I say, okay, we lose. Boom, we lose. All right, go through the summer. Earl calls me and he say, hey, man, you're going to be the 17U coach again next year. So I got all these pieces coming back. And the thing about it is that I don't get a chance to pick the team. I kind of go into it. The team is already chosen by Earl. But Earl's like, he's one of the top 100 influential people in women's basketball. So
what is his name again? Earl what?
Earl Allen.
Earl Allen. Okay.
Earl Allen.
Okay.
You got Earl Allen. You got Ryan. Ryan is the head coach at Houston Christian on the girls' side.
Okay. Okay.
And Ryan is the one who really, really brought me in. He was the one that was like, hey, man, this guy needs to be the coach, right? Because my biggest thing with the girls was repairing the relationships, getting them to trust you, getting them to vibe. That's important on the girls' side. So fast forward. That was the first time on ESPN, but nobody talked about it. So I was like, is that because it's the girls' game, or was it because of me? That was always a question in my head, right? And because, and let me tell you why I say that, right? I have been around so many people in so many different organizations to where they could have been like, hey, man, Omar, you ever thought about coming here, coaching here, coaching? Like, my son used to play for the Hoops. And yet and still, this dude was the only one who thought enough of me to give me an opportunity, right? So come to this year, we go to Boo Williams. We lose to Philly Rise, the game to go to the chip. we go to Kentucky for the seeding. We lose to Wisconsin Elite, a team that we beat by 25 in Boo. And I'm on ESPNU, and we lose this game. So I'm looking at the stats. All my stats check out. We didn't shoot the ball well. And the biggest thing about the EYBL, what I've learned and what everybody else needs to understand before you decide you really want to be in it, you better be able to handle criticism. You better be able to handle parents who think that, think the world of their babies, which they should. But when y'all ain't thinking the same way, you better be able to handle criticism. I'm hearing across the court, that don't make no sense. Why you doing this? We're 55-4. That's how we finished. 55-4. I'm not saying that I know everything.
Right.
Now, we lose that game. I have a team meeting to air out some differences that the girls had, right? Man, I go to a sermon by T.D. Jakes. It said that timing is everything. I'd have been to state 3 years, I ain't came up with it yet. I'd have been to Nike Nationals, I ain't came up with it yet. So I'm starting to question myself, which is something I don't really do too much. Then I went to go listen to this sermon. It's like, man, timing is everything. And so I really decided to study the sermon, right? Study. So we win the first 2 games. Boom. I get a phone call. Lightning hit a tree at my house. And I'm hoping it didn't fall on my house, but it fell on my truck, smashed my truck. Boom. Okay. I got to play Cal Stars the next day, the team that beat us in the chip. And then I got to play Pro Skills, which is the rival team who beat us early in the season. And Pro Skills, I don't think beats our fab much, right? So I probably never. So I probably was the first coach to ever get beat by them. I got to deal with all this. And then I pretty much got my wife and kids at the house, probably barricaded, can't even get out the house. Right? No. All this. But let me tell you the story, the way it ended. My mom calls me. I'm like, Mom, I need a rental car. She was like, well, get on the prayer line. I get you a rental car. And I'm like, man, I ain't trying to get on no prayer line, man. I need a rental car. So, I get on the prayer line. And, man, I call them the Silver Foxes, man, her and her little prayer group, right?
Right.
Man, they got to praying. And, I'm sitting there because, in my church, Antioch, I sit up in the balcony, man. I see people, catch the Holy Ghost, I guess, all that.
I guess.
And I'm sitting there like, man, you catch it every weekend, but, so I'm sitting there and I'm listening, and, man, they got the humming and praying, and, man, so my daughter's on the other bed, so I put a towel over my head, man, and I'm going to be honest with y'all, man, like, right. I started crying, I'm not going to lie.
Right.
Like, dang. So then at that moment right there, I said, you know what? Man, I'm going to take the focus off of me, and I'm going to take the focus off of any negativity around me. Man, I'm going to focus on God, and I'm going to focus on these girls, right? That's what I'm going to focus on. So if you look back at it, I would always post, hey, I'm going to be on ESPNU coaching at this time. Well, this time, I didn't say nothing. I ain't posted. I ain't say nothing. Man, I did that, took my daughter to a game, went watched her, came back to the room. And I always say a silent prayer before the game. Now, this all started in Chicago. And I was like, look, I say, God, listen, hopefully nobody gets hurt on this court. No foolishness, because when I watch AAU, all we see is foolishness these days, fighting referees knocking fans out, fans knocking referees out. None of that. And let me call the best game that I can call, and I'll let the chips fall where they may. Man, we end up beating the people that beat us. We end up beating Pro Skills. And my biggest thing after beating Pro Skills was not to have a letdown against the team Exodus, is a team that we beat by 20 a week before. But I had just lost state the same way. We had just beat Argyle, the number 1 team in state, undefeated, and then go play Brownsboro. Brownsboro, and I'm from Beaumont, man. I ain't never heard of Brownsboro. And we go lose that game. So I was like, all this right here is a makeup and a build-up to my coaching. It was my experience, my role. So when I focus on him, man, next thing I know, man, it was a nip and tuck game. Man, we ended up walking out with the Nike National Championship, man. And once I got the girls together to shake hands, man, I just went and sat down on the bench, which is me and my daughter. Because I got the chance to experience that with her. You know, the state championship games that she's on. I've been there 3 times. She's been there twice because she's just a junior. I never really had the chance to just hug her or console her after games because, you know, when you coach and you're a daddy to all of them at that point in time, and you got to share your time and share your love with those girls because I love all them girls. Let me say that. And my baby is patient enough and she understands the mission. So we win that Nike national championship, and then I think I called Mr. Hicks. I don't know how many days it was afterwards. Okay, and I said, hey, man, I need to talk about this. Like, because, you know, and it's not, I mean, once again, man, everybody know I'm a real person, man. This ain't throwing no shade, no shots at nobody.
Okay.
And I wish that everybody go win it, right? I know it ain't easy.
Right.
But I know, the hoops will get to the Final Four, boom, you know, such and such. But I'm like, hey, man, the girls we just did some fly stuff for the city. You know, I see TJ tweeted, I see, I
Yeah.
Sloan
Yeah.
tweeted it. Everybody tweeted it. You know, everybody talked about it, you know, but not enough. I see Herb Baker, the OG, at the airport. They say, Steve, man, proud of you, woo-de-woo, because, you know, I'm still a little brother to him, you know.
Okay.
Proud of you, this, that, and the third. Man, you won it, but, man, ain't nobody talking about it. And then I get a phone call. I get a text message from Mr. Hicks 2 days ago. Because I thought, you know, this was forgotten about.
Right.
He was like, hey, man, you know, we're going to woo-de-woo. And I get the platform to tell the story, you know, and man, that's how it happened, man. You know, and that's I've taken a lesson away from this to add to my coaching moving forward.
You hear what you said a minute ago. I'm going back to what you said. You talk when you got on there with the Silver Foxes, right? You got to praying. Do you remember when you got off? You said, "I'm just gonna focus on this." That's what the prayer was for.
Mm-hmm,
I
right.
know you know it now. I'm just going, cause you was everywhere. Your tree on your truck, your baby. You know what I'm saying. And all they were doing, and that's why she wanted you to pray. She said, "Forget about a rental car.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
My baby need prayer right now, cause he up there thinking about. Hold up, think about what you had. Your mama knew you had the lives of other girls in your hand. You was up there dealing with. You had a whole team of girls."
Right.
No, and so you had to be focused, and they just prayed you into focus, man. Shout out to Mama, them and the Silver Foxes out there. Hey, Silver Foxes out there, Antioch. When I come out there, I'm coming straight there. And listen, I don't care how many times you can get the Holy Ghost every week when I'm coming. So it's all good.
Yeah. Now, on this team, tell us about this roster. Tell us about the makeup of these teams. Where are these young ladies from? You know, because we see sometimes so many teams, you know, they'll say the name will say one thing, but everybody from the team is from somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
Where are these girls from? Take us through the roster. Tell us a little bit about each one, and who the hell should we be looking out for this season in the girls' side?
Man, look, okay. I had Logan Johnson, I believe. And Logan, I know that. I call her Lolo. She's at Houston Christian. And that was the X factor. Hey man, her dad used to coach AAU back in the day. His name is Nick. Hey, X factor. She got a strong body. She is the lock up queen. You know, matter of fact, I'm about to start a clothing line with her. D Block. My daughter. I'm not playing. We coming for. Hey, listen, I put her on Juju, the #1 girl I think in their class, and until she started getting the Maya Moore calls, she only had 3 points going in the halftime.
They say Maya Moore calls.
Yeah, she was getting the Maya Moore calls, man. Any assignment wasn't too big. So we got Logan at Houston Christian. I got DeAsia that's at Houston Christian, the most intriguing player on the roster. Probably about 6'3", if I had to say, about a 7-foot wingspan, could put the ball on the floor, could shoot it, could post up a little bit. You know, both of those girls play at Houston Christian together. Okay, I have Riley Gray.
They went undefeated, didn't they?
Yes, sir. Undefeated. And I just got through talking to Ryan. He said he's gonna do it again. He said he's gonna do it again. That's what he
Wow.
said. He's gonna do it again. Yeah. Ryan said he want all the smoke in the city. So if y'all want to do something, hit him up. If y'all want to do something, hit him up. And
You know what?
so
You know what? You let him know. I have the Hoopsgiving Classic the day before Thanksgiving at Houston Christian High School. This year's field, I have the most out of town teams in the history of any scholastic event that I've ever done. Got over 10 out of town teams coming. Now, that's on the boys' side. But I don't have no problem bringing the girls' team down in H-Town to play this undefeated team. All you got to do is give me the number of the coach I need to call to get their butt down there. I'm gonna get you some food. I'm gonna get you something. Just stay in the cage. Cause we talk. I'm using the keep the gorillas in the cage. I'm gonna give them a banana in just a second. Just hold tight. Now keep going with these girls. Man, I saw them girls play last year.
Yeah, they cause we tried to match up with a game with them, it just didn't work out. I have Justice Carlton. Justice Carlton. I think she's at Seven Lakes. And man, you know, if everything go the right way, bar the injury or whatever, she'll probably be the next McDonald's All-American out of there. Girl can really do it, man. That was our fourth. I think she led the EYBL in scoring. And if she didn't, she was, you know, top 3. You know, she could put it on the floor. She could play every spot on the floor, man. Very, very talented. She's a 24. And I said I had Riley Grays. Now Riley Grays plays at Pearland. Her
Yeah, I
dad
remember that name. I got that name in my notes somewhere.
Yeah, well, she committed to UNC.
Oh, yeah.
UNC.
Okay.
And she was like the Dennis Rodman of my team, man. She can play the 1 through the 5, rebound pretty well. You know, when they get to school, I'm pretty sure they'll work with her on the offensive side. But a great athlete, man, and a sweet kid. You know, so sky's the limit for her. Okay, I have Aaliyah Chavez now. Aaliyah Chavez.
Is that the young girl?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Somebody on the chop shop, I think it was Trey Phillips, told us, hey man, before the game even started, right? So we talking about the game on the chop shop, the championship game of the EYBL, the late girls EYBL. And I think it was, I'm giving credit, maybe I'm hoping I'm giving it to the right person. I thought it was Trey Phillips was like, okay, I say, who we need to see? He said, you need to watch this young girl. She's a 10th grader. I think he said. And sure enough, this young girl went out there and she baked their ass a berry.
Yep. Hey, she's from Lubbock. Aaliyah Chavez, those other 4 girls I named, they all from Houston, but she's from Lubbock, man. She's in 9th going to 10th. She's already scored over 1,000 points at her school. And hey, man, her daddy trains her. His name's Sonny. He has his own lab down, so they call it the lab. And man, this girl, she can really do it. What I like about her, man, is that, you know, I was able to coach her. Because with a girl like that in the culture today, you can't say too much to them before somebody's pulling the string or they threatening to leave. And then you got to, well, you know, then of course, well, you got to simmer down on what you saying because we don't want her to leave because she the face. Nah, it didn't work like that. Hey, look, I said do X, Y, and Z. You can't do X, Y, and Z, man, you're going to sit over here. And then she'll go, shake, you know, get her head together and was very receptive to the coaching. No tripping, no attitude, no talk back. Just get in the game and give you everything she has. That whoever land that kid right there, man, hey, listen, somebody should get a bonus. Because she's worth it. And hey, listen, she lives and breathes basketball. That's it. That's all. When everybody else is over here doing that, she's gonna be on the jump rope. People think her old man might be a little bit too rough on her, but at the end of the day, that's how she is who she is, right?
That's how she responds. She responds.
That's how she responds. Exactly. Right. Like she missed free throws, turn the ball over, anything. Well, you look to the side, she got to do burpees after the game.
Yeah.
You know, so that's what works. So that's Aaliyah. Then I have Kelly. Kelly is her high school teammate. Kelly is going to be a senior this year. Kelly came to me this year, big body. can finish around the basket, can shoot the basketball a little bit. She's from Lubbock as well. Okay. And then I have I don't want to mess her name up. Zakar Perkins. Ben
Okay.
Demaya's daughter, Ben Perkins' daughter.
Oh, that's
Um
Ben Perkins. Okay.
Oh
that's Ben
yeah,
Perkins' daughter. Yeah. You
yeah.
know,
So
she,
you had some goons on that
I,
team, man.
I got some
No, they
players like
gorillas,
Yeah.
man. They gorilla.
Not the girl. Not the girl. Not the girl. No, I
we
can't
had,
call a girl a
Yeah.
gorilla. Come keep going.
you know, so
Silverback.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's the mentality we had. But I I didn't get a chance to really play Z as much as I would have liked to, because I returned 7 girls. Now she's a very, very intriguing player. She holds offers as high as Syracuse,
Mm,
and she puts up big numbers at her school. She can play post if she needs to. She can play the wing. She's very, very smart. Defensively, she's very, very smart. Offensively, she's smart. And one thing about it, even with my own daughter, I tell people this all the time. My daughter's done 3 years on 16U
mm,
because I wasn't gonna put her up there, and I know I got 7 girls returning, and you only play 5 minutes, 6 minutes. You know what I mean? Just to say I was on, and
mm.
so timing is everything. And once again, timing. But now I understand those who say, "Hey, I want her to just get that bump in practice, this, that, and the third, and we gonna be patient and we gonna wait." So
Yeah.
everybody has their own cup of tea, so to say. But moving forward for the future, she's definitely, to me, in my opinion, gonna be one of the highest recruited kids in the class of 24, easily. You know. Then I had trying to make sure I got Amarachi Kempson. We call her Smooth. Okay, she's committed to UNLV,
Right.
and she's from Dallas.
Oh.
Yeah, she goes to a school called Lil Elm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Hey
Yep.
That's
man.
RJ
RJ
Hampton on the team.
Hampton's.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hey, the
Uh-huh.
X Factor. The X Factor. Hey, Smooth is the right name. I brought her off the bench
Uh-huh.
sometimes, man, but she could have started easily, and she could have started for any program, put up crazy numbers. But I knew that whenever I brought her off the bench, I was gonna take away anything that other guy had. And there's nobody could compare to her. Could shoot the ball, can get to the rim, gonna play defense. Yes sir, no sir type kid. UNLV really, really, really got blessed to get that child right there, man. She was a big part of us winning that Nike Nationals.
Right.
And so then I had Chloe Cardi, and I think Chloe Cardi is one of our probably most highly recruited ESPN list. I think she's the top from Arkansas. And Chloe had games of like 32, 37. She started struggling at the end a little bit offensively. And when most kids of that caliber start struggling offensively, they ain't trying to play no D. But I got her to lock in on the defensive end, and she gave it everything for the team. But when you look at that Nike National, she really closed the game out for us. And she had a quick 11 almost towards the end that really closed the game. And I sent her a screenshot, and it goes back to how did it feel when you won Nike Nationals? Well, it was cool. I was able to win because I had failed so many times. So in the midst of us failing so many times, I learned a lesson along each way that catapulted me to the win. And that's the same thing that I shared with Chloe, because she had been to state a couple of times in Arkansas and hadn't gotten it. And so I said, hey, baby, we're going to learn how to get over this hump together. And that's what we done. Okay. And then I had Alexis Cortez, and Alexis is a 23. She goes to Coppell, I think, Coppell in Dallas. And it was really tough because, she came to the team midway through. And, I never really got a chance to learn her, and learn her game. Second half, I tried to play as much as I possibly could. And some games were better than others in terms of playing time, but she's going to go to school. She's going to be a Division I kid. She's a Division I kid. But just in the rotation and the roster, it was tough. And it kind of puts you in a tough spot as a coach because you want to try to get everybody some burn. But on that level right there, man, it's just hard. You know what I mean? So, but I have no doubt in my mind she's going to be successful, in her basketball career. And I had Gisella Mall. Now, arguably probably the best player on the team. This is the girl that was at Cedar Park who was the 2-time defending state champion in 5A.
Mm.
Nationally ranked team, went undefeated last season.
Mm.
They went from a ranked team to a nationally ranked team. And second tournament of the season, man, she tears her ACL. She's a UT commit and probably would have been a McDonald's All-American. Hopefully still could be a McDonald's All-American. I lose her the second tournament of the season and have to adjust on the fly with my team.
Wow.
And to still come out and win that. So when I have parents screaming, why you got two bigs? This don't make no sense. This, that, and third. Well, 55-4 don't make no sense then. That's what don't make no sense. And I had a coach from Tennessee, Silver, because I'm from Beaumont. Coach Butte is my mentor. I ain't had no shot clock. I'm up 11. We taking crazy shots. I look up, we up 5, 3 minutes left. If you think I'm going to keep shooting, well, when Texas put the shot clock in, then I'll think about it. Until then, no, I'm going to hold on. And what it is, they're like, oh, that's stall ball. No, it's not. You need to come out there and play some defense, and then I'll move when you move. So then this dude proceeds to tell me, Nike National, I got 3 national titles. I was like, okay. And he's like, I got 3 and y'all scared. I say, man, listen, I've only been doing this for 1 year. We have one. Not me. You saying you, not me, because I ain't shot now basketball. We have one. Okay. So come out, play some defense. So just on the little cocky side, I told her, I said, hey, baby girl, I coach both teams. Hey, go guard her. And she went out there and we went on to like a 10-0 run, ended up winning the game. Some stuff like that, man.
Which game was that again?
This was in Orlando. This was after Nike Nationals.
Oh. Okay, so y'all went and played after you won the championship. You ain't shut it down. Y'all went and played another tournament.
Man, we went to Virginia and then we went to Orlando.
How did y'all fare out?
We won all that. Oh, we won all that. Yeah. but when I say 55-4, think about something, man. That's like 59 games over the course of 3, maybe 4 months.
That's a lot of
NBA,
games.
what they played, 82 over. Yeah. I mean, I'm like, God, dog.
Yeah.
That ain't so what do you say up to the people that say, well, man, these people, these girls and these boys, they're playing too much. They need to rest and recover. How does that work with you?
I do believe, you got to treat your body right, man. Like I believe they need to rest. I mean, the old theory, when you guys came up, man, we could play all day. Kids play all day.
Yeah.
Now, the crazy part about it, and so we played on concrete all day. We didn't have no ACL prevention. We didn't have none of that. They got all that, but yet still they stay hurt. And they died and everything. We ain't died, man. We ate, the Crisco, blue can with the white grease. Got to let it melt and all that. And we perfectly fine. We got these dyes, these vitamins, prevention, Vertimax, and we stay getting hurt. So I don't know. I don't got the answer to that part. I don't. I just know that it's it does get taxing a little bit. Like these, but when you're invested in it, right, and you're trying to go get that $40,000, $50,000, whatever it is, the scholarship money is, right, it's a sacrifice that comes with it. And at their age, they kind of got to sacrifice their summers, so that just kind of goes with the territory.
Indeed. Of course, you just tuned in. This is Omar Sneed, guys, Beaumont living legend with us. I mean, man, we one thing we skipped in the gap was, we talked about the young ladies. We talked about, a hell of a championship run. And you mentioned, you briefly tapped on the McDonald's, a couple of possibilities for McDonald's All-American consideration. I do know that, and I've written it in the magazine a few times. I kept tabs on the running number of McDonald's All-Americans from girls and boys. Mm-hmm. The boys started in 1978, I want to say, right? And they had a kid, Rudy Woods from Bryan High School, was the first. He was among that first class of boys. Then came Greg Kite in 79. And then we didn't have another one till Ricky Winslow. Then Tito Harford come after him. And then, then that was the run. And all the first 4, that was all Greater Houston. DFW didn't get a McDonald's All-American until 10 years in.
Okay.
So like 10 years later. Now, it's not a disgrade, a discount to them. Just letting you know about the talent level on the boys' side. 1978, all the way until, let's say, 2019, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, the boys had totaled 64 from the entire state of Texas. 64 McDonald's All-Americans from Texas since 1978, since the first year.
Okay.
The girls started in 2002. As of 2019, you know how many girls McDonald's All-Americans it was?
How many?
65.
Wow.
From Texas. In other words, let me simplify this fraction. In the great state of Texas, girls McDonald's All-Americans were included starting in the 2002 season. Up until 2019, there were 65 girls selected. That was greater than the entire amount of boys that had been selected since 1978.
Right. Right. Man.
And the girls have continued to produce McDonald's All-Americans from the state of Texas. Not boys have too, you know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
and boys did we had 5 from one city on the boys side this year.
Right.
5 from DFW, which is a record one city. So that's the state of Texas. Get that stripe on our sleeve. Let's say we was in the military. We had one sleeve with girls and one sleeve with boys, and we get what they call them bars on your sleeve, and you get for rank. Just let this soak in. There's no state that has produced more McDonald's All-American girls than Texas.
Okay.
We came out the gates rocking.
Right.
And I remember it vividly because I had just started RCS Sports in 2001. The first girls McDonald's All-American game was 2002. That means the 2001 / the season started in November. So time I was starting this stuff, you looking across the hall and you seeing, I'm hearing about this little girl named Nina Norman at Jersey Village. I got to go see this little girl right here. Nina Norman, she kicking butt taking names. And while she's kicking butt taking names, then, you hearing about, it just trained. Next couple of years later, we just blow up and we get the Kelsey Bones. But first we had the 2 girls they call them Biscuit and Gravy. Biscuit and Gravy went to Cinco Ranch. The Gilbreth sisters. I remember them. So I remember talking about them on the television show. That's why, vividly alongside Todd Freed. And so then came after them, the Wig McKay, the first one came, NECA. Then you had the Kelsey Bone and Brittany Griner, which Kelsey Bone had all of the thunder that year. Brittany Griner was kind of similar to, she was like a Emeka Okafor. She didn't really get to blossom until the second half of until that senior season, going into with Nimitz High School. But Kelsey had stole all the thunder because Kelsey Bone went and played for the team from the summer team from California. She didn't even play in Texas that final year. Kelsey Bone went and played for the Nike team in Cali. And so a lot of people don't have, when I'm talking right now, people hear me spitting this and I'm freestyling this stuff and people watching like, damn, I ain't know Hicks can go with them girls like that. We used to cover girls in the magazine. Guys, look at this. Look at this. Look at this. A lot of people don't realize this. We've been doing this a long time. And I stopped doing the girl. I was going to dive into it, but I say, no, when I do it, I need to get one person that can meet the criteria that I set for it. Meaning a young person that ain't got no kids. That mean they can stay gone. They ain't got no, they ain't no newlywed. That way now they can be on the road and they good, clean, and that person they can trust them around girl, preferably a female.
Right.
And it never, some came And what I can do is I say, okay, let's do it. I'm filling the whole budget, and I still got to open it for anybody. I'm writing a check for a budget so you can go everywhere the top teams go, because I'm in a different space in my life. But then you got to meet this criteria because I'm the one paying this bill.
Right.
But then back to this other stuff. These girls, they've been rocking, and you missed it. The girls has been producing McDonald's All-Americans from Texas at a record pace. And 1 year, I think it was 2018, Texas produced 7 girls in the McDonald's game.
Yeah, I heard you, but I just wasn't on the screen.
7 girls that's in 2000. That's 7 girls. Now, that's unbelievable. There's no state has ever matched that, boys or girls, period. 7 in 1 year. And we've had one pretty much. It's almost remember now, let me let you guys not forget this. In 2000, which year was that they didn't they count the McDonald game?
Yeah, that was because see, Ash played this past year, the year before that, when Deja Kelly was the McDonald's All-American.
Yes, remember that?
It was so no, the year before was the girls with the backcourt from Side Creek.
Yeah, that was Kendall Hunter and Rory Harmony.
And Deja was the year before them.
Was Deja before or after them?
I think Deja was before them, because Deja left San Antonio, went to Duncanville, and then went to North Carolina. She was at North Carolina, I think, before them. Deja, because if Deja would have been, if Deja would be going on Rory Coleman, Hatter would have lost the gasket. Hatter would have bet the world. He riding with Kendall Hunter. If they would have locked up it would have been over. But
well, no, that was they could think about it. They both
they was before Deja.
No. It's the same time, because all 3 of them are going into their sophomore years. Deja was a freshman this past year, right?
No,
Deja did. Wait a minute, which one of y'all right? James?
No, I could be wrong.
Trey Phillips said. I'm sorry. Trey Phillips said Deja, then Rory. Then Chuck McGowan said before 2020 it was Deja. Deja came out in 2020.
Okay, yeah, because that's what I was making. I could have been wrong.
Into her junior year, this is what I'm saying. Deja is going into her sophomore year of college, right?
She can't be unless she got a red shirt. Remember, you had a COVID year, so technically on paper, a lot of people got that year repeated. You got that was a neutral year, so that made what happened. Because I remember my point in bringing it up, Omar, was the fact that the McDonald's game was scheduled to be in Houston.
Yeah, I know.
That's why I brought it up. Because of all of this talent, all of that talent, we finally got one in H-Town, and guess what the hell happens?
COVID
takes it away.
Yeah.
We finally got one in Houston, and they took the thing away. I mean, not took it away, the elements took it away.
The Deja's junior year. Okay, so you're right.
Without the COVID year.
Huh?
They said Deja is going to junior year without the COVID year.
Okay, without a COVID. So she's
I guess
junior.
These guys know. I promise y'all, I don't know. I'm just sitting back enjoying myself.
And so it's remarkable as it stands. And I'm thinking about the 60. I said 65. We got about 70 girls since 2002. So it's 20 years. Texas has produced 70 McDonald's All-Americans on girls in 20 years. In 20 years, Hannah, 70 girls.
Oh yeah.
That averages out to. That averages out to look over about 3 point something per year.
Yeah.
So who's the McDonald's All-Americans this year that you're projecting from Texas? How many are we gonna get? What's our over and under mark, Omar?
Oh man.
In reality, get your heart out of it now.
No, coming out this year, out of Texas. I think the San Antonio Finals, I think Sammy Wagner would be. I think she had to be. I would say Gisella Mall. Depending on when she comes back and how many games she played, I think it's a criteria. Because I think she would have been a McDonald's All-American hand down from Cedar Park. And to be honest with you, those are the 2 girls that I know of out of the state of Texas.
So we
That's
playing
what
spades. So we playing spades. You sound like you bidding
One
one
in
in
a
a pot.
possum.
that's that's
That's a,
yeah.
so,
That's about the way I see it.
so now
And
where the other girl from? Okay, Cedar Park, and where's the other girl from?
the other girl, she played for San Antonio Fire named
Wagner.
Sam Wagner. She just decommitted from UT. Um,
Huh.
she went to Reagan High School. That's the
That's
high
not
school.
Giselle. That's not Gisela, right?
No, Gisela goes to Cedar Park.
And the other girl last name is what you said? I'm
Wagner.
writing it down. No.
Wagner.
Wagner.
Sammy Wagner.
And
Who was?
she's from what city?
Austin.
So Austin
And
ASAC
she
is running things
discommitted
this
from.
year.
And she discommitted. She decommitted from Texas, and she from Austin.
They letting her get
Yeah.
away.
Yeah. Well, she committed to Baylor at first, and then when Moki left, she decommitted from there. She ended up going with Vic. I don't know what happened. Because the only reason why I know her, because Ash played with her at San Antonio Finals last year when they won the national title, on the Adidas circuit.
Oh, okay.
Wow. Man, it's a good. Hey man, this is a good combo right here, man. And the thing is, because it's informative, and we're informing people. A lot of people. So why do you think that because there's such a lack of, like you said, nobody's talking about it.
Man,
You guys win that championship. You go one year, you repeat, you go back again the next year, you win it. But girls have cameras and videographers on the baselines as well as boys, right?
Yeah.
Girls have you have the people that's doing the writing and covering the scouting services abroad. You have the national ranking service. And I remember Hoop Girls covered the girls. I mean, you have the big tournaments. You have what is Mike White, and you got the other one in and on the East Coast. You got the other one in Atlanta. I mean, you still have all this stuff. Why isn't the girls getting the burn relatively in the same circumference as the boys?
well, like I say, that's the age-long question, man. And I guess, when it comes down to the game, of course, the athleticism isn't there. The excitement of dunking and all these stellar moves and stuff. So I don't, it doesn't sell the tickets that the boys' game sell. So in my mind, I feel like that's why it doesn't flourish because of course a lot of stuff is based around money. But the deal is with the girls' game, what you're gonna find is a whole lot of strategy. I'm not taking nothing away because I coach on both sides. But on the girls' side, to me, it's similar to the European game.
Hold on, is that
Because
me?
you got to be very, very strategic.
Or is that him? Omar, hold on. Your signal, your cell is locked in.
Hold on one second.
Go out and come right back in. Just yeah. That's Omar Sneed, guys. I thought it was mine at first. I was like, okay, my stuff's just sped up. But anyway, great convo. He's coming right back in, and we'll present that question to him. If you guys have questions for him, now is the time to cue them up. We will do our best to toss those questions to Omar Sneed. 34 minutes past the hour. We're on the Chop Shop. This is your midday sports happy hour, the best 120 minutes of your day. And we have approximately 25 minutes left before landing this plane on today. Meanwhile, as we wait for him to come back in, we we got some good stuff tomorrow. We're going to mailbag. If you have any questions on any other topics or some stuff you've seen and you want us to throw out there in the middle of the street, we will address some of that stuff on tomorrow. Send us an email, chopshophtx@gmail.com. That's chopshophtx@gmail.com.
And I want to talk about, and I want him, but I got Chuck McGowan and all the women basketball guys on here right now. We had what's her name? Liz Cambage just quit the other night playing basketball and just said she just wanted to go do something else. And because y'all was just talking about why women's coverage is not as great, Jimmy. Why the women's coverage, but guess what? In the women's defense, think about this. The Liz Cambage stuff didn't get covered that much, Jim. A lot of people didn't even know the woman had quit. That's how obscure that this women's basketball is. And I'm glad Omar is back. And um, Omar, Omar, did you hear about? Did your girls talk about it? And you talked about Liz Cambage just quitting basketball the other day.
About, say it again.
Liz Cambage, did nobody talk about it?
No, no, we didn't have. I think no, we didn't. We didn't discuss that. No, they didn't talk about it.
Now think
I
about that, man. Think about that. Because we're talking about women coverage, right?
okay,
That's a big story.
right, right,
To me, a top player just quitting the LA Sparks, and it's just a one-day story.
right,
So how can we complain? Ain't nobody coming to watch. People ain't worried about if LeBron had to quit,
right,
Melo had to just quit, somebody had to quit. You follow me? And
right,
you have to cover that story,
right.
good or bad. Basketball, basketball wasn't, NBA wasn't always great stories.
Mm,
You remember?
mm,
It was the cocaine league. They
yeah,
talked about, they went through the New York Knicks. It was all blacks on the team. They used to call them the N-word mockers. Jimmy,
right,
you follow me? So
yeah,
we got to cover the story, good or bad. But one of the top, she just quit, right? And I'm
right.
just sitting there thinking about that, man. She's one of the top what? How many players in the league? So if the girls ain't talking about it, the people in y'all circle ain't talking about it, I mean, how do you expect the
People to
fans to
think.
be worried about it?
Well, and that's a great point. And it's also one of the many reasons why I wanted to come on the show to
Mm-hmm.
talk about
Yeah.
a couple of different things. And then but I never looked at it that way.
Right.
And once again, I know everybody been talking about this, but just like with Brittany Griner, I mean,
Yeah.
same thing, man. I mean, for that to be happening and for the movement to be as slow as it's going. I played 2 years in Russia.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I've been there. I
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
and it just goes to show the lack of care, I say. And I seen somebody say something, the other day I was reading some
Mm-hmm.
comments. Well, man, you can't compare the girls' game to the boy game. The girls' game will never be. And I understand and I get that part,
Yeah.
right? And there's some truth to that. But what I will tell you is this:
Mm-hmm.
you look at it differently once you have a daughter that said, "Daddy, can you take me outside, teach me how to dribble and how to shoot?" That's when you're gonna look at this
Very
thing
different.
differently.
Absolutely.
That's when you're gonna care a little bit more. And then that's what things hiked up for me is just a little bit. Now I've always respected my sisters that played basketball. When I was overseas, I always went to go watch games. We always supported because, like I say, it's a strategic game. You
Mm-hmm.
got to really know how to play. You know what I mean? Because, like I say, there's no athleticism there. You don't have a girl that's just gonna go take over a game. Like you got to know how to play basketball, so you got to enjoy it differently. That's what has to happen.
Right.
You have to enjoy it differently. But the lack of coverage. Now when I say lack of coverage, now this is
Mm-hmm.
the crazy part.
Mm-hmm.
Lack of coverage on the pro side, because on the amateur side, when we play a lot of tournaments,
Mm-hmm.
it's a lot of scouting service. It's a lot of ranking services.
Mm-hmm.
It's also a lot of money involved.
Mm.
Because one thing when boys get 15, 16, 17, when they drive to the tournament, man, they ain't worried about mom and dad. They really ain't, they ain't showing up how the game went. Them babies, them girls, they ain't going nowhere by themselves.
Hello.
So it always, what it always come down to at the
Right.
end of the day.
Right. But
You
it
know,
was just unique, and I thought about it, and I know your son said she had other endeavors that she want to do. I understand that, but a top player at the top of their game just quit,
yeah.
like the boy Vontae Davis, the football player. He
Mm-hmm.
just come in at halftime and just quit.
Right.
Put on his stuff. When it has, like you go in halftime, put on
Right.
his stuff. Vontae Davis ain't that big of a guy.
Right.
It was all over everything. But this girl, I mean, beautiful girl, and I know she talked, but she had some mental stuff challenges, but just quit in her sport at the top of her game, and I just didn't see. It was a one-day story.
Yeah. Right.
In the
Right.
WNBA, and one thing, because I was talking to some people, and I'm glad Chuck and I'm glad you here, and I want you to address this to your young people, your young girls. When you do the media, when you do interviews, that's adds to the whole sports popularity. We got a dude was calling me and telling me about a certain player. I ain't gonna, because if I tell you the name of the team, y'all gonna know who it is. A WNBA player. They wanted to interview her for the show on Sirius XM. They sent these people a whole damn list of what she can't talk about. You know what they told her? Them, man, we don't want to interview her. She can't talk about the coach. She can't talk, I almost gave it away. She can't talk about this. 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 They said, okay, no, you can't tell us. We're interviewing her. And this one, and hold up, and like I said, it was a girl who was supposed to be on this show. Somebody called and gave us the number, gave me the number to call the girl. Shit, the girl act like I wasn't even supposed to call her. I'm getting my hair done. One day, hold up. The next day, I call her back. Well, I'm just. How you think I'm going to, subconsciously, I know I can compartmentalize stuff, but every time I see this girl, how in the hell I can root for her?
Right.
She won't even support somebody who's trying to put the WNBA on the map with her. But she was so big. Man, y'all, it ain't but 144 y'all. You follow me? So I think the women need to do a better job of promoting their own damn sport. Instead of calling people talking about what you didn't call us on this show talking about, hey y'all, we can't talk about this, we can't talk about this, we can't talk about this.
Right.
Ashton Jackson, she didn't call that. See, we got to start training our kids, man. If they gonna go and be on this platform, man, they got to say, look, forget what them people tell you. Forget what, hey, I wanna be accessible to my public as I can. Now, if I got mental challenges, all right, I understand that now.
Right.
But telling me she can't talk about this, you can't talk about this, you can't talk about this. They said, no, we don't want to interview you. So I just want, what do you think about that?
Well, no, I think you're absolutely right. You know what I mean? And then, where there's real success, man, there's no egos. Right now it's too many egos. And I tell you another thing, speaking of Ashley, the one thing that her parents did a very, very good job of in the community, the time that I had with her teammates, and herself, right? You got to be marketable. You got to know how to talk to people. You got to know how to speak. You got to be, you got to live your life, but you got to, it's boundaries, because eyes are watching you, because the game is different. Hey, man, they giving these young ladies, they're giving you guys good money, man, for your image. They're paying you guys for this. They're looking out for you guys. Y'all getting great deals. And then here's what I tell my girls. That's where you win at. You're going to go get your 4 years of education, and let's be realistic. After your 4 years of amateur ball, most of you guys got 4 years left to play. Because after you do your 4 years of college, WNBA, overseas, not for everybody, right? So it's more opportunity for the boys, right? So boys can make a slip up here and there, bounce back and recover. On the girls' side, you can't do it like that. So you really got to be mindful of your social media presence. You got to really look at the way that you take care of yourself, how you present yourself. I mean, look at the young lady from South Carolina when they won the title. Her little clothing line, what is it? Anything's possible.
Yeah.
This, that, and the third, man.
Is this the one got slighted by the ESPYs?
No, that was the post player. That was the post player. I'm talking about the point guard.
Oh, yeah. Henderson.
So,
and it ain't Destiny?
Destiny, yeah,
Okay.
Destiny. I believe Destiny. You know,
Uh-huh.
you look at the girl. I think that was at what's the number one player in 2023? Michaela Williams from I think she's from Shreveport is going to LSU.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And they have opportunities these days that basketball creates,
Mm-hmm.
but it has to be more than just basketball. Your personality, your character, how you live your life. You know, you gotta lock into those situations, and then that's how you create the wealth that you're looking for. And everything outside that is a plus.
Mm-hmm. But I
You
mean,
know.
they just always. I hear people in the women's basketball community always talking about, well, they don't talk about us. They don't talk about us. They don't talk about. Yeah, but make yourself accessible.
Yeah, yeah. You're right. I never looked at it like that. You know, because I was
Yeah.
one of them guys that's wondering why too. But
Uh
now
huh.
that you say that, because we was at the WNBA All Star game, we was in Chicago,
Oh, okay.
right? And you know, and I'm looking at the difference in between the WNBA All Star game and the NBA All Star
What you
game.
see?
Man, it's well, what
It
I
was a
ain't trying to
ghost
be
town.
funny, but
It was a
you
ghost
know.
town.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. What I can see is that I can see it right there with both eyes.
Right.
If I'm at the NBA game, I gotta have binoculars. I mean, it's and I'm
Right.
saying to myself like, okay,
Right.
well, what's the difference? You know what I
Right.
mean? Like, but you're absolutely right. If
Mm-hmm.
if if we start, if they start, and we start as a
Yeah.
community supporting and talking about it more, and pumping each other up and
Right.
stuff like that, maybe
Right.
things will grow a little bit more.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You
So
notice I never mentioned the girl's name? The young lady who was supposed.
yeah,
I would never mention her name because I'm not trying to. I'm just trying to teach the next generation of girls to come up. When you got a platform like this that will allow you to just put your best foot forward, you don't tell nobody. I'm getting my hair done.
right,
I,
right,
I'm,
right.
no, you got to respect. Man, I mean, you just got to respect, man. You got to
Yeah.
respect this thing, man. And I just see, I just don't understand them. And I think she just didn't. She didn't understand. I'm hoping that she just never. If I ever meet her,
Mm-hmm.
I promise you, if I ever see her, I'm gonna bring it up. You know,
Mm-hmm.
'cause, baby girl, I got bigger fish to fry, to call than your ass.
Yeah.
That's how I really felt. The
Right.
hell you gonna tell me when I call? It's bigger fish than told. Ain't ain't told me to hold on. I'm getting the hair done. I ain't gonna
Right.
lie. I felt some kind of damn. I felt some kind of type of way
Right.
now.
Right. Nah.
Cause we was calling to help her. It wasn't gonna
Right.
help us.
Right. Right.
So it's something else, though. It's something else, though. It's something else. But no, I just wanted to share that with you. And before you get off, Coach, I know we've been going high school basketball. It's one of basketball and this world's greatest men passed away this week. Bill Russell on Sunday, and your basketball player. Uh, what did Bill Russell? Did he mean anything? What you know about it? What you know about? What's your greatest Bill Russell situation?
Well, man, I would always be honest with you. I just like to see him and listen to him speak. It goes back to what you said today. Bill Russell brought a lot of class and a lot of respect to the game of basketball.
Yeah.
Um, he's one of the reasons why I live under the old law still to this day, man. You know, I respect the ones that done it before me because without those people, man, these opportunities that we get in today, man, they wouldn't even be here. I mean, you could take this all the way back to slave days.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think that each generation, I'm not one of them old heads that like to criticize the younger generation,
Mm-hmm.
right? I want to, but what I would like for them to understand is all criticism ain't hate. Most men can sit down and have a conversation, and we can still shake hands and walk away, and still keep our lives and stuff like that, you
Right.
know. And
Right.
Bill Russell, like I say, he was a staple in the game, not only through his play, but the way he carried himself, the way he spoke, you know what I mean? The way he showed up at different events, on time. I mean, he was just a high maintenance guy, a high character guy, and you know, cause I see it all the time and I hear it all the time. Man, the old head this, old head that. Hey, listen, man. Old fools used to be young fools. Nobody's reinventing the wheel.
Right.
You know, we all made mistakes. We talk about hair. Hell, I had braids down to my shoulders, and I ain't cutting my hair, and I lost my hair. You know what I'm saying? and that's and that's and that's called wisdom. And I
Right.
had to.
Right.
I told a young man this one time. You know, I say, hey, listen, I've been your age. You got to get to my age. That's the difference. So, I get on the show and say, Mr. Hicks. I ain't gonna call him Jim. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Because if
Right.
if my mom or one of the silver foxes heard that, well then I might get slapped upside the head.
Right.
So Coach Kirby told me this a long time ago. Coach Robert Kirby,
Yeah.
one of the
Good dude.
great dude, man.
Yeah.
And let me tell you how great of a guy he is, man. And Coach Brooks, man. When I graduated from Memphis, when I went back and graduated from Memphis, that man was standing right there at the graduation. I still got a picture of him, and I talked to him from time to time, just to pick his brain, just to get knowledge and wisdom. And he told me that one of the things that's missing these days ain't a lot of gray hair in the room. And so, especially when coaches that age, they always hitting you with little nuggets. You just got to be smart enough to pick it up, and smart enough to ask the question. And like, what that mean, coach? He's like, hey, back when I was recruiting you or when you was coming up, you had grandma, big mom, whatever you call it. You lay across her lap. You know what I'm saying? When it was time to take a nap, you was moving too much, lay across the lap. If one of her favorite grandkids, you really was tripping, you got to jump up on that tall bed and get in that heavy cover. You can't turn because the cover too heavy. You know, that's that great hair. Well, we don't have a lot of that these days. It's not a lot of old school raising, and I know the new generation is coming up, and they got a lot of great things to offer. But when you look at Bill Russell, the reason why I bring all that up, you see
No,
all
I
that.
like that.
You see all that great,
Yeah.
and you look at it as I'm looking at it as wisdom.
Wisdom, man.
And when I look at things in Beaumont, man, like this. Everybody trains this and that, man, and I'm a trainer, whatever they want to call me, man, whatever.
Right.
Okay. When I would look at John Lucas, right, and I watch people sit up under John all the time and sit there and learn. A lot of them do it free of charge because he's giving you knowledge and wisdom, and he's giving you a platform to grow and do it yourself. Like Ben, I watched Ben hustle from sundown to sun up, and finally get his platform. And guess what? Ain't no A right there. Hey son, go do it. We want to compete every time for everything. And guess what happens? The product gets watered down.
Come on, preach, man. Preach, man.
The product gets watered down, and in Beaumont, that's a big problem for us. It's starting to be like that in the greater Houston area. I know I might have people discipline. That's cool.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And the fact that we can't come together for the common good, you know what I'm saying, on some things, it hurts us more than it helps us, right? And I'm just using this platform to let people know at the end of the day, this old head right here, man, listen, man, ain't no hate in my blood, my body. I compete with y'all all day. You want to compete, we can get after it.
Right.
But at the end of the day, let's look at who's losing in this, right? We talking training. I ain't gonna lose. I'm gonna make my little money with my little clients. You gonna make your little money, but I'm not gonna backbite you. And then I'm not gonna water down the product because you gotta keep these young men and young women. You gotta keep them motivated. You gotta keep them educated. We gotta keep them healthy because if we don't do that, then at 70 years old, 75 years old, I ain't got nobody to help me pick up my groceries when I drop them. you know what I mean?
Right.
And so that's just my spiel and just my take on it. I think we need to be, but let me tell you what the problem is though, right? Nobody wants to be the employee. Everybody wants to be the boss.
Absolutely.
Now you can only have one boss, but the problem, what people don't understand about being the boss, The boss a lot of times is the last one that eats. Nah.
Hey, man, I got a book sitting here on my desk called Leaders Eat Last. Leaders Eat Last. And that's what it's talking about in that book right now.
Yeah.
Leaders, if you want to be a leader, you eat last. And it's a great, but I want to share this with you because I was thinking about you. You just made me think of something. Because I thought about the effect that's what's happening now that Bill Russell had on these people. Did y'all know that Bill Russell, check this out. Did you know that him and Frank Robinson was high school teammates on the basketball team? No, Frank Robinson, right? The manager, the first black man. Think about this. Frank Robinson was the first black manager of Major League Baseball, right? Bill Russell, the first black coach.
Yeah.
And they went to played on the same high school team. Played on New York Times was talking about it. They played on the same high school team. Think about this. Frank Robinson, he broke into Major League. He's the first black manager for Cleveland in 1995. 1975. 75, Jim. And after Bill Russell started all this in 66 now. And then Art Shell, Jimmy, became the first black head coach in the modern era in Oakland in 1989, I think, right? So Bill Russell, in his pioneer of the coaching ranks, is an impact in the NBA now. The reason I say this, today, ladies and gentlemen, today, the NBA has 15 coaches, black coaches, exactly half the league. Omar, did you know that?
I didn't.
15. Emi Udoka, Boston. Doc Rivers, Philadelphia. Nate McMillan, Atlanta. J.B. Bickerstaff with Cleveland. Wes Unseld Jr. with Washington. Dwayne Casey in Detroit. Jamal Mosley in Orlando. Monty Williams in Phoenix. Jason Kidd in Dallas. Willie Green in New Orleans. Tyrone Lue in the Clippers. Darvin Ham with the Lakers. Mike Brown with Sacramento. Chauncey Billups in Portland. And Steven Silas here in Houston. Bill Russell, his legacy in regard is being felt in a tremendous way. Jimmy, just 2 years in 2020, it wasn't before black coaches. Let me tell you something, man. His tentacles. This is why I keep talking about this guy all week. The tentacles of his reach in history is still very profound today. And I just shout out to this guy. And I saw a question. They said, "What's your plans for the Silverback Gorillas this year? What's your plans?" I saw it back up there. They want to know what you're gonna do with the Silverback. And they gave, wait a minute. What are your plans for the SBG 2025-26 boys for next year? What's your plans for them?
Our plans is, man, just to continue to get better and keep pushing, man, and to play on a bigger platform and bigger stages, because it's becoming, at that age right now, man, it's becoming money time, and it's time to put these guys out. And that's what we did. We spent a lot of time going to gym events. I went to a couple of Sloan events. I went to Buff, the guy Buff out in Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
I went to his events, and to get these guys the exposure that they need. Now, let me say this too, because I know, I talk about unity, and I know everybody got their differences and stuff. Mm-hmm. And I'm Sloan is my guy, and Jim is my guy. Jim. I'm sorry, Jim, yeah. Mr. Hick. Okay. He's like the God. He's like the. Hey, man, the truth be told, man, he's like the godfather of this thing, man. Right. It is. It is what it is. Right. And me and my program, we show love and support. Those guys have really done a great job of putting my guys on the map. Let me say this, my guys have earned. So they asked that question. My guys have earned a lot of attention, locally and nationally, college-wise, by going to these events right there in Houston, Texas, as far as in Dallas. And what I think a lot of people don't understand, about this Texas thing. When we talking about when he threw out the numbers about the boys and the girls,
Mm-hmm.
Texas is right now, in my opinion, really is the mecca of basketball at this point in time. Right now,
Right.
you can get everything you want right there in the state of Texas. You don't really even have to leave Texas unless you just choose to. So my plan for those guys, hey, y'all just gotta stay tuned. If you been with me, hey, stay with me. And we gonna keep pushing, man. The one thing about me, I'm always working. And that's the thing. People never know. They question if you're working, if you're not. No, man, we always working. So and working for the kids.
And until the show today, I had no idea that you had anything to do. Because all I know, I like my little boy Elijah Garrett. I didn't know you had a handprint on none of that. I just didn't think about it, man. I didn't know you had your hands in none of that.
Well, I didn't know, and that's crazy. Somebody had mentioned it because I seen you came down to watch Ash.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I was
yeah.
on the sidelines.
Yeah, you saw. Yeah.
And I didn't get a chance to
to holler at me.
holler at you.
I got out of there.
You got out of there super
Yeah,
duper
man, I ain't
fast,
like where we was at. I got the hell out of there.
And so the SBG thing, man, it's been 15 years strong, 16, and I've had multiple players. Like that's what Kenny Lofton, 6th grade through 11th grade.
Okay.
He was with me, and then one year we ran up under Mitch Malone. We ran under Texas Blue Chips. Because the biggest thing with me, man, I'm not opposed to ever working with anybody to make it better for the kids. I'm not. Here's the only one scenario that I still to this day have a hard time understanding. And I would tell people this when they would come and recruit Ash. I was like, everybody focuses on the Karate Kid, but nobody paying attention to Mr. Miyagi. If I ever had the platform like this, that, and the third, and if I have people that's, oh man, this kid that kid come from, that kid. Hey, at some point in time, man, I gotta go talk to Mr. Miyagi, man, and set Mr. Miyagi up so man, I can get me a couple of Karate Kids.
Hello, keep talking.
Because that's what I'm. Because Terrence Arsenault, he was with SBG. Yeah, and so Casey Harris, there was SBG. Josh Boyd, man, and the list can go on and on. And a lot of my guys, they play football as well.
Gotcha.
So
Gotcha.
because down here, we 2-3 sports.
Yeah.
So we have a lot going. And let me say this: it's a lot of other people in this area that's doing it and that's doing a good job. I am not the only one. My program isn't the only program that's producing good players and spending time with these kids, this, that, and the third. So I don't never want to get caught up in it. Like I say, when it's time to compete, we're going to compete. But anything after that, you can have it.
Right.
Yeah. Anything after that, you can have it, man. So our area is a small area, but we're producing a lot of talent. If I have to say anything, man, hey, in my God to honest opinion, I hope and pray that Wesley Yates is a McDonald's All-American. If anybody can make that happen, please do.
Me too. Believe you,
because he's definitely. I know, and see that's the thing. The people that's try, they never get highlighted for trying. So that's why I said, Mr. Hicks, thank you for advocating for me for a college job, because you never know who's trying. It goes back to what you said, Mr. Haddon, when you was talking about that young lady. You don't know who is in your corner. That one conversation that happened or didn't happen could cost you.
Just so happened, I got a great heart, and I'm gonna forget it, and I'm gonna come back. But she might not be able to recover somewhere else, and I don't want our other young people to be able to be. Y'all, this world is so competitive. But man, I'm just so proud of you, man. Y'all don't understand that. I remember, y'all got to remember just watching Jimmy doing these tournaments for year after year after year after year. And I saw you with Team Sneed, and I'm keeping on. And now I come to the game, and I sit across, and come to told Ashton I was gonna come watch you play, and you over there coaching the team.
Yeah.
And I mean, I just sit there and say, wow, Believable, man. Shout out to all of y'all, man. You people ain't giving you your yes. Mr. Miyagi, we had him on our show today. We having all of these guys, and they know we try to support. This platform is for y'all. This ain't for us. Me and Jimmy, all right.
Yeah.
Hey, this platform is for y'all. We can come. We tired of talking about us.
Right.
This one of the greatest conversations that I've had because I've learned so much and knowing about the engine that goes behind this girl's basketball, man. Trey Phillips been trying to keep me, him and Chuck McGowan, they be keeping me abreast. But I mean, it's just, the best. I like the best, nothing but the best for the best. I like to know who these McDonald All-American girls are.
Yeah.
When I first saw Kendall, when I first saw her, I never forget it. Kendall Hunter, I first walked in the gym. Never forget it. It was a workout, secret workout. They weren't supposed to be over there working out, so I ain't gonna say what a workout was. But I sit there, and I'm in there coming to see my dude. My dude was working out over there too, so he's working out. But I saw this little girl, and this little girl was tearing the dudes up. Not my dude.
Yeah.
Could mess with him. But the rest of them,
right?
She was tearing. I said, "Who is this?" And I didn't know who she was. I said, "Who is this little girl?" I said, "Shit." And from then on, I said, "That girl." I didn't know this was years. It was a couple of years before the McDonald All-American stuff. Now, but I saw it soon. I saw one. A girl don't dominate boys like this.
Right. Yeah. Right.
See, you've been seeing it a lot. I haven't seen girls just dominate a boy like this. They didn't dominate boys when I grew up like that.
No, we ain't never played that. But I'm gonna tell you, I was when I first started working in HJ, and this really made me just say, God, dog. I started working at HJ. I was working the clock. We had our own tournament, and man, it was Alexis Morris versus Charlie Collier. And I took a picture with the Charlie Collier girl because I'm like, God, dog, man, this girl big, taller than me, sweet child. And we were supposed to play them.
Barbers Hill, right?
Huh?
That's Barbers Hill, right?
Yeah, Barbers Hill.
Yeah.
We were supposed to play them. One team was supposed to play them, but then they were like, they backed out because they didn't want to play them. So we said, we'll play them again. Man, I had one of my girls say, Coach, I'm not playing. Because she had gave out like 3-4 concussions. Not playing dirty. She did bigger than everybody. Post move, I can appreciate it, right? But man, Alexis Morris coming in that mug. Man, I'm sitting there watching. Man, I'm almost not running the clock right. I'm watching Alexis go to. But I knew Alexis is a baby. Me and her dad played.
Right.
I say, man, look at this, man. It's the Allen Iverson of girls basketball, man. I mean, I'm telling you, I think Charlie had 49 or 48 or 40 something, Alexis had 55. And man, I'm watching this, man, and that's when I really, really, really became a fan of the game.
Yes.
Then once my daughter started playing, then I got involved with Ash.
Yeah.
Then I was like, because in Beaumont, let's say Southeast Texas, if I'm not mistaken, because of course, Mr. Higgs gonna know the fat way better than anybody else. That's you got Kendrick, you got Steven, you got Alexis, and then I think Ash. If anybody else that was a McDonald All-American, I ain't named, I apologize. But those are the 4 that I know for sure. So that's 2 girls and 2 boys just right there out of Southeast Texas, and hopefully, like I say, hopefully Yates will make number 5, and
I got you.
So that's just that's what I'm saying. And then lastly, man, Chuck, hey, that's a special dude in the game of girls basketball, man. I mean, that's a good
thank
dude.
You for saying that, man.
Good dude, man. Good brother in the game, man. It's quite a few. Because you only hear about the bad stuff. No, man, it's a lot of greatness in the game.
Absolutely. Speak on
that. My boy that run BDA. Dominique. Man, it's a lot of good people doing it, man. My buddy Steve Walton. There's a lot of great people doing it. And all my people in Southeast Texas, man, hey, let's just keep working.
Steve Walton is coaching the girls. He's on the girls' side now.
TNBA got his daughters.
Man, you know what? I used to laugh. I tell him, I say, man, every time I see him and his wife got another kid.
Yeah,
With
that's
all
what you're
boys.
talking about.
They
Yeah.
walk around there with all of them holding hands. One time they
I
walk
got
in the corner,
100
hold
kids.
hands. You know how you evacuating? How you evacuating out the building, and the kids hold hands. They walk and hold hands. I say,
Hold up, like them teachers used to say, stand in a
I,
single file line. I
man, I
used to
told
hate that.
Steve, I say, Steve, you using the wrong color pills, man. You using the wrong color pills, man. You need to change your color up, man.
He
Yeah,
using the blue pills, baby.
Whoa, man.
I seen him in Orlando, man. I seen him in Orlando. We was chopping it up in Orlando. That's the coach. That's the guy I was telling you about. I said my close friend in Orlando.
Yeah.
That's what I was talking about.
Right.
Steve. Yeah.
Okay.
You know, because when we played back in the day, I had SBG and he had the Celtics.
Yeah.
We played in not the icebreaker. God dog it.
In Jimmy event though, right?
Yeah, it's the
GMI.
last one that we always go to.
GMI.
The
GMI.
GMI.
Yeah.
GMI, man. Packed wall to wall. You know, wall to wall, man.
Who y'all have on the team?
Man, listen, interesting. I had a bunch of cats from Beaumont, Texas, and Silsby, and surrounding areas. Christian Smith, D. Hurd. I had all these guys so long ago. Man, I had some there's a lot of guys that just needed one more shot. Man, I had some old blue jerseys in my garage, man, nothing special. Threw them on them. I called my my little brother, man, Taji Rito. That said, I think Taji's at Nimitz right now. Say, Taji, listen, man, I know you ain't, I need you. And that's the cool part about a lot of my, being an old head, a lot of my young men, when you get on that phone, say, I need you.
Right.
Fun. I talked to Perk about 3 weeks ago, big fella, just out the conversation. OG, what's up? What you need? I hear it in your voice. I mean, man, that's the love, right?
I like that.
And man, Taji showed up, man, coached those guys. And man, he did such a great job, man. And but like I say, the GMI, man, packed wall to wall, man. The scouts all across the border, all up at the top, man. You just seeing them all over the place, and I think kids take that for granted these days. Because back in our day, at the Great American Shootout, when it was at Grapevine, and you playing in the basement, and John Thompson coming there with the towel over. That's why I coach with a towel on my right shoulder. I don't know if y'all flips. Yeah, I got to get them people their towels back at the hotel, but I take the towels every time. And, man, and
them
the
good car wash towels, coach. Them good car wash towels.
the car wash towels.
Yeah.
But man, me, Chris Clagg, William Stringfellow, Calvin Davis, when we see them coaches, we trying to get around to see if our name on the pad. Well, when they see the coaches these days, man, it's just coach here, that's just coach there. Like, nah, man, that means something.
I like that. Jimmy, what you got before we get out of here?
I mean, hey man,
that's great, man.
That's it, man. I mean, we was good combo guys, and I remember, you said a few names. I remember old Ricky Johnson, man, when I first started this stuff. He was running across him all the time. I hadn't seen him in a while. I forgot he went over to the girls' side of the fence. And I think Angel mentioned Simi Colson's name. He's been covering the girls for a long while.
Hey,
and,
she went to West Side, the best side.
No, that's the daddy is Simi.
Oh, I'm talking about Sydney.
Yeah, the daughter.
Sydney's daughter, right?
Yeah, I'm talking about the girl went to West Side.
Yeah. And Simi, I'm gonna say this, Simi, man, I forgot to me. I'm glad you said it. Hey, Simi put me on to a lot of games. Nate introduced me to Simi, and I talked to Simi a lot about a lot of different things. And he's a no-nonsense dude. Let me say that. So Simi like you, man, you're doing something good.
Hey man, let me tell you a true story. Before we land this plane, is that I've had multitudes of people that have approached me to do collaborations of events with and stuff like that. And I'm talking about, man, from all over. And I have rarely recalled myself soliciting somebody else to do an event with. And I've done it before. I've solicited a few, but me initiated. Right. I went and I got Glenn Smith. We did an unsigned senior showcase up in Dallas, and it was sold out. Alan Branch, we did an unsigned senior showcase at Fallbrook Church, and we had 80 players and 42 college coaches. We only did it 1 year. 1 year, 80
Right.
players and 42 college coaches was present. Didn't make no money. And so, you know, and it fizzled out. But it's not here, neither here or there. But there's one person that I've went and solicited to do an event with, and this was about 12 to 15 years ago, and that was Sydney Semi Coast. Semi Coaston has turned me down at least twice. If he would have, I told Simi, I'm financing the entire project. I know it can work. That's when around the time when we had the girls in the middle magazine.
Mhm.
And if it would have popped back then, man, who
Right.
knows? I mean, because he wasn't doing events back then.
Right.
And I was
Right.
like, you ain't got to do nothing to me. Just go get the girls. Go get the
Mhm.
girls. I got everything
Right.
else. I got the building. I got everything else. And he turned it down. To this day, I understood why
Mhm.
he would have turned it down. Now at the time, my events was just coming off the ground, but they were good.
Yeah.
Didn't have a lot of stuff. I was just starting off. But man, he's the only person that I've ever solicited individual to doing a collaboration with that turned me down. Not bad.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Yeah.
It didn't work for him. Sometimes
It's like
things
one
just
of those
don't work.
things. It's like one of those things where you could invest it. You know those stories like people tell you, man,
Yeah.
Barkley could have left his money in Nike, and what would have happened? But he decided to not to do so. That was the
Right.
thing.
But
And
Barkley did leave his money in Nike. What are you talking about?
I'm talking about some people. I'm just using stories. Some people
Yeah.
remember they gave him an option.
Barkley told Nike, man, y'all keep my money. I'm gonna just give into stock because all I'm gonna do is mess the money off. That's the best move he ever made in his life. Best move.
Yeah.
He knew.
Oh, absolutely.
He knew himself.
Yeah.
And boy.
Yeah.
But Jimmy, let's get out of here, baby.
Yeah, man, it's that time, man. I see Marcus Carroll. We got a blast to the past. He done got in Houston Celtic and Houston Lynx mode on there, and also Marcus Carroll send me. I just was talking Sandra just night before last, and I said that I'm going to start reaching back and checking on people that were in the basketball community, and I'm going to start reaching out to at least one every week. And she asked, how was Dr. George and Judy Schutte doing? I need to find out. So that means they're on my mind. They were great for the city. I mean, a non-sneaker sponsored program back, in the days, and those kids did not have to pay for anything. Like as you mentioned about you had a lot of players that they kind of, for some people they would use the term they outgrew your program. They had to go and play talent to the sneaker circuit. Imelka Okafor played with Dr. Schutte. He was a Houston Lynx. Many people in town. He didn't get with the Houston Hoops until his last lap around the track. Dr. Schutte had him all the way through. It's like he carried that baby for 9 months, and then all of a sudden they go into labor, and now the Hoops had to whisk him away and in a sheet. And that's like a lot of kids. But at the same time, Dr. Schutte, if Marcus Carey, you got the number, send the number to me. I need to check on them and see how they're doing. Not just limited to them, but I just thought about him just now because their program, you taking care of stuff, you taking these kids all over the place, and you play for the Lynx, man, they only recruited certain types of players.
Yeah, I remember.
They didn't recruit non-qualifiers because they spending their own money. If you was a non-qualifier, like at-risk academic kid, that's why I just put it like that. They didn't mess with you. They felt you need to be at home studying or with some tutorials, and which was great. And most of their players were of color. And great shot to them, man. Him and his wife his wife would be on that bench taking stats. I used to get mad sometimes. I go down there and say, well, who you keep? We didn't have all this exposure apps and all this stuff back then. I'm like, who you keeping this? Who you taking it for? Give it to me, send it to me. I need them stats. and they would like they'd use it, and they have a film session, and her and her husband sit there with some Orville Redenbacher, and they sit there and watch the damn tapes of the game.
Yeah, some very, very nice people. I remember they came to me. It was talking to me about my son a long time ago. I just said, nah. It was just what everything ain't for you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's why you can't get mad. Like Jimmy, that was Mr. Colson just said, man, I can't do it. I can't do it.
Well, yeah, I mean, we're gonna get out and give a shout out.
We got to bring Omar got to come back on too. We got to get him. When you got we're gonna let this percolate because the people gonna be talking about this for a while. But we're gonna have a recap on this because we got so many interesting stories that we can cover with you because you're a man. You're a man of many talents. So we got some more things that we need to share with you.
I appreciate it, and man, I definitely would like to come back on to talk about a lot of other stuff when we have time because, like I say, me and had us different on another because Memphis, players.
Hey, I saw you on the wall. I saw you on the wall. We got the wall down there. They got all the players who ever played on the wall. You on the wall?
Oh, okay. I ain't been down there in a minute. Yeah, I got to go check that.
Yeah,
I did talk to Penny the other day though. I was able to talk to him the other day, and then like I say, of course, with Mr. Hicks, and I do because it's a lot of things that I want to do in my area. It's a lot of things I want to do, and I think this platform is a beautiful thing, man. So I appreciate y'all. Let me say that.
You got us, Doc. You done deal. I got your number. Lock it in. Lock my number in. Done deal. Whenever you want to come back, you just let us know.
Well, and thanks a bunch, guys. It's that time to slide on down Dino's back and Yabba Dabba do this thing on this Women Rock Wednesday. We want to give a shout out to all 18 students in the class of Thaddeus Moody up in Illinois who's watching the Chop Shop right at the camp. Yeah. Shout out to you guys. Befriend each other. Remember and cherish these moments. Swap contact info with each other because some of you young men may be recruited together, may be recruited by the same coaches, and y'all share intel and you can find out a whole lot and it can help you as you navigate through your paths while you're using basketball as a tool. We want to also thank I mentioned Ricky Johnson, thank Earl Allen.
Yeah.
And you mentioned that name, Ryan, Coach Ryan. I ain't joking now. Find me the team, give me the cell phone numbers, and let me do the calling. Let me see if we can get you something down here on that date, which is November the 23rd. November the 23rd. It's easy to shuffle some stuff around because nobody's hardly playing the day before Thanksgiving. So that's a good thing. And that would be at your Houston Christian High School. Let's put that together, and that atmosphere is gonna be funky.
Who y'all trying to play? Who you trying to hook it up?
We're gonna put one girls game in the middle of the Hoops Giving Classic.
Oh yeah.
And
Houston Christian versus who? Whomever.
I can t-shirt say everybody.
Yeah.
Bring that girl from Cedar Park. They get to Cedar Park girl you was talking about.
She's out though. She's not back yet.
Okay.
Yeah, she get back. I don't know. We're gonna see what's up, man. It might be an HJ might come down. We'll figure it out.
You got something to fight with? Come on, coach. We're not trying to do Rocky Balboa versus the Russian versus Clubber Lang.
Okay, let me talk to him. Hey, look, that's what he. Hey, listen, that's what he do. That's what he do. That's what he do. It's all good. It's all good.
Coach, hey, coach. I ain't gonna lie, coach. I fell in love with your little team. Your team. You know why? Because Ashton, the way she was identifying the girl. When I got to the game, I knew who the girls were. Oh, she's a shooter. She's a this. She's a this. And she's a that. Man, I'm on the sideline just knowing all the girls, man. It was so much fun, man, when I went to see that game.
It'll be great.
Yeah. Jimmy, they got something to fight with.
It'll be a side. Hey, listen, it'll be a side. Cause like I say, my daughter coming back. She's just a junior. India, Molly, you know what I'm saying?
Molly, that's my girl, Molly.
So, Coach, hold on. So you saying that you're willing to come to AUC Christian and play against Coach Russ and Coach Ryan and his crew. You saying you willing to come to Houston Christian and take on Logan and Deasia and all that. You willing to get some of that? You want some of that?
Man, we don't run from nothing.
Nobody.
That's my people. Hey, listen. Because like I say, once again, see, he done baited me in the conversation. That's what he do. All right. I'm gonna make sure let me make sure our date line up. If the date line up, we gonna ask for it. The date line up.
Go. I'm gonna do it like this. If you can get within 20, I got a certain love offering for you.
Who can with the Hey, listen, man. Hey, look. Hey, listen there, man. Where the hands claps and stuff, man, when you exit. Look at there you go. There you go, doing what he do, man.
Yeah, he working now. He working right now.
Yeah, he working me right now.
Coach, we appreciate it, man. It's Omar Sneed, guys. Make sure you share the show on your way out the door. It's the Chop Shop, your best 120 minutes of your day. Your midday sports happy hour, and we are about to get up out of here. Got things to do, of course. Astros leaning on the Red Sox right now for love, and as we approach the mid, they had a no-hitter going on for most of the game. I'm not sure if they got a hit yet, for Boston, that is. Seattle leaning on the Yankees, 6 runs in the first inning a while ago, leaning on the Yankees because the Astros are creeping up on the Yankees for that best record in the American League and the home field advantage. I'll talk more baseball tomorrow. But we got to get up out of here. For Robert Haller, it's Jim Hicks. Peace. Chop shop.
All right. Appreciate y'all. All right, man.
Jim Hicks. Rob Hatter. You are now tuned in to the Chop Shop. I'm Retro. Let's get it. We in the Chop Shop, we live in the Chop Shop. We talking sports talk, we live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop, I'm talking sports talk. So turn your dials up, it's live in the Chop Shop. We in the